Chapter 2155 Thinking of a Way to Leave. Chapter 2155 Thinking of a Way to Leave. He was planning to leave the Void Marketplace as soon as he got the light heart. He could use teleportation formation disk to leave at the city gates. He had already set things up. Then, he would keep using instant transmission and eventually fly away with his extreme-grade flying magic artifact. Even the most powerful Tao Essence Divine Emperor wouldn't be able to stop him. It was because of this that Emo dared to participate this auction, but now things didn't seem to go as he expected. Xinghong said that there was no way there would be Primordial Essence Divine Emperor here, but how did this Primordial Essence Divine Emperor come? Even if he didn't reach Primordial Essence Divine Emperor, he was still a half Primordial Essence. Emo didn't think he could get away from such person. He might not even be able to leave the Void Marketplace. Emo didn't put his 2 yellow middle plum on the teleportation formation. He was thinking about how to leave the Void Marketplace. Just when the Tao Essence old man didn't know what to do, there was another sneer. Do according to the rules before. Let the bidder teleport his things to the auction and let everyone see. Hearing this cold sneer, Emo knew it was the seller. This person was another half Primordial Essence, or Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. It was definitely this person who asked him to teleport the yellow middle plum to another place. Since he was the seller, why did he rebuke his rules? Did he want to annihilate him and take his 2 yellow middle plum? Wait, Emo instantly realized what went wrong. His face looked extremely bad. His mind was completely occupied by the light heart that he didn't think about. The yellow middle plum was just picked. Just looking at the time marks on it, a Divine Emperor would be able to recognize it easily. If people saw that his yellow middle plum was just picked, it meant that he had yellow middle plum tree. This meant that he had 5-element world or even chaos world. Thinking about how he bid 2 great primordial god rune Tao fruits, the auction organizers were almost certain he had 5-element world. Emo's heart sunk. He grew calmer and calmer. He knew that at this time, the slightest mistake would cause him to be gone. Although he knew they would find out, Emo still took out 2 yellow middle plums and 1 billion god crystals and teleported it to the stage. He didn't care about the light heart anymore. He just kept throwing out formation flags. Emo was going to set up a powerful formation flag. He used all his top formation flags. Now wasn't a time to save materials. Other than this, he was going to completely separate this space using formation from the formation of the auction grounds. At this moment, Emo's yellow middle plums were teleported to the stage. Almost everyone was looking at the 2 plums. There were exclamations of shock. After seeing it, everyone knew that they were looking at the real yellow middle plum. 5 minutes later, Emo stopped setting up formation and said in an icy voice, "The yellow middle plum has been verified for 5 minutes. I believe everyone know if it's real or fake. Why hasn't the auctioneer given me the light heart?" The old man seemed to have just reacted and said awkwardly, "Your immortal friends, due to the yellow middle plum, I forgot about it." Then, he didn't pretend anymore and teleported the light heart to him. The instant it arrived, Emo sent it into his golden page world immediately. He knew that the light heart was real. What he needed to do now was think about how to leave the auction. The yellow middle plum was taken, and many people knew that this Divine Emperor not only had the yellow middle plum but also the yellow middle plum tree and even a 5-element world. At this moment, the 2 yellow middle plum appeared before the skinny old man. The old man looked at one and his eyes shot out hot beams. He didn't know how many years it had been since he had such intense excitement. He placed down the yellow middle plum and said, "This person indeed has the 5-element world and yellow middle plum tree. Grand Divine Emperor, this thing has spilled out. I believe in just a few days, the Void Marketplace would be the world of Primordial Essence Divine Emperors." One Tao Essence Divine Emperor said worriedly. The skinny old man thought for a long while before saying, "If it wasn't that Luo Juanxia old bastard, we can attack now, but now, we need to settle him first. Send someone to invite him over. Tell him I, Pingyuan, have important business with him. I believe he will understand." Yes. This Tao Essence Divine Emperor immediately left. Yemo was still in the room and didn't leave. He barricaded all chi from his room and actually took out a pill cauldron and began pill concoction. In just 15 minutes, 6 black pills were made. Unlike other pills, these pills had no good aroma. It only had violent chi. This was created by him, Tao restriction pill. It could burn his god essence and allow his cultivation level to rise a few levels. However, this pill had very potent side effects. Yemo only dared to use it as he had the chaos tree. Yemo immediately ate a Tao restriction pill. Powerful Tao waves flowed. Yemo even felt that if he wanted, he could palm all the divine emperors in the auction to powder. But Yemo knew this was an illusion. His power definitely increased, but not as much as he thought. Yemo didn't use the pill to increase his power and charge out. Even if he took another pill, that would be suicide. He immediately took out the golden arrow of divine exterminations and shot out 7. He had refined 6 of them to 99th level of restriction and 1 to the 100th level. However, forcing it to not shoot far and tear the void in a certain range still made Yemo receive strong backlash. After shooting out 7 arrows and spitting mouthfuls of essence blood, a ripple appeared before his space. Yemo was shocked at the sturdiness of the void here. He waved out one region god art, and the moment it formed, he released Murder Dao's spear and burned his god essence and essence blood like crazy as he smashed out multiple spears. The ripple made a small crack under the terrifying lethal force of the Murder Dao spear. A small crack in the void appeared. Yemo grabbed his bone arrows and formation flags without hesitation and went into the Golden Page world. Then he controlled the Golden Page world to fly into the void crack. After Yemo went inside the Golden Page world, he breathed easy. If he wasn't a formation expert, then even if he was a Dao Essence Divine Emperor and had the Dao restriction pill, he wouldn't be able to tear open the void there. The void here was so sturdy that Yemo felt only Primordial Essence Divine Emperor could tear it open. The void here was not only sturdy but also locked by formation and restriction. Such terrifying killing intent. The skinny old man frowned when Yemo took out the Murder Dao spear. He suddenly got up. Luo Juanxia is here. Let him sit for a while. I'll go check 79th room. In just a few seconds he was in Yemo's room. Yemo's restrictions were easily wiped away by him. Tearing open the void? The skinny old man's face was green. Even I can't tear open the void here, and yet a Dao Essence Divine Emperor tore open the void here. What monster is he? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2156 Blue Like Morning Sky Evolution. Chapter 2156 Blue Like Morning Sky Evolution. Sister Bingyu, I'm already abstruse immortal peak stage. There was such a good immortal marrow pond, but that Mu Wushuang didn't take it away. He's really a good person. Sister Bingyu, why don't you cultivate anymore? Jin Bingyu smiled. Because I'm an immortal king peak stage. If I don't reach immortal spirit herb, cultivating would just condense my immortal essence. With my talent, it would be a bit hard to reach immortal monarch without monarch will pill. Yemo, you're AI peak stage now. Let's leave and wait till you reach Great Unity Immortal first. But Sister Bingyu, I don't have Great Unity pill. Yemo looked at the immortal marrow pond unwillingly. This place was countless times better than using immortal crystals. Jin Bingyu smiled. Don't worry, let's go. Don't worry about Great Unity pill. Jin Bingyu's Great Unity pills were given to her by Yemo. She didn't expect that Yemo would be able to use them too. Have divine damnation here? Yemo looked at the immortal marrow pond. Definitely not. Although there aren't many people on this level, there are still people. Once the divine damnation draws people's attention, it would be hard for us to come back here and cultivate. Jin Bingyu quickly said. The two left the immortal marrow pond. Zbaya was planning to take Yemo to find an open space for divine damnation, but after just going for a few hours, rumbles of lightning caught Jin Bingyu's attention. Then Yemo saw the lightning too. Sister Bingyu, is someone having divine damnation? Jin Bingyu nodded. Yes, it's also Immortal King divine damnation. Someone is breaking through to Immortal King. Have a look, it would help you reaching great unity immortal. Yimo followed Jin Bingyu and came up to the divine damnation grounds. Before Jin Bingyu finished talking, Yimo called out in surprise and joy, _auntie. Jin Bingyu recognized that it was Su Jin when having the divine damnation. Protecting her was Tang Beiwei. They looked for these two before but weren't able to find them, but now they met through this divine damnation. You're Yimo. Tang Beiwei was watching outside nervously and immediately noticed Jin Bingyu and Yimo. Tang Beiwei and Yimo immediately charged up to each other and embraced. Yimo, you not only ascended but are also abstruse immortal peak stage. This is so great. Tang Beiwei knew how much her brother liked Yimo. Seeing Yimo safe, she was extremely happy. Rumble. A few lightning arcs came struck down, interrupting them. Tang Beiwei just woke up and quickly said, Yimo, brother would be very happy to know you're here. Sister Jean Wen is having her Immortal King divine damnation. After she finishes, we'll talk. Yimo nodded and grabbed Jin Bingyu's hand, saying, Sister Bingyu, this is my auntie Tang Beiwei, the one having divine damnation is my auntie Jean Wen. Jin Bingyu smiled. I know Sister Beiwei. Sister Bingyu, thank you for helping Yimo. Tang Beiwei greeted Jin Bingyu. Then, they all focused on watching Su Jingwen's Immortal King divine damnation. Su Jingwen's talent was extremely amazing. With Yimo's cultivation resources, her progress speed was unimaginable. The Immortal King divine damnation was nothing to her. Another 2 hours passed. Su Jingwen had finished her divine damnation and started consolidating her power. Seeing this, the other three felt assured and started to talk. Yimo, your dad is so worried about you, but now I can finally feel assured. Su Jingwen came up to them quickly. Soon, the four had chatted for more than 2 hours. Su Jingwen just remembered. Sister Bingyu, you're about to have your divine damnation too, right? After you reach Immortal Spirit Herb, we don't need to worry in the Chaos Star realm. Jin Bingyu didn't think that much and smiled in self-mockery. After handing Yimo to you guys, I will be going to the Grand Heaven Domain to find chance to break through Immortal Spirit Herb. Su Jingwen suddenly thought of something and took out a storage ring to Jin Bingyu. Sister Bingyu, your cultivation things are here. Jin Bingyu took it in confusion. Mine? Just have a look and you'll know. Su Jingwen smiled. Jin Bingyu's spirit sense scanned inside and her hands shook, almost dropping the storage ring. Monarch Will Pill, Great Void Meridian Pill, Tai Wei Emperor Return Pill, Immortal Crystals and Extreme Grade Immortal Range. With all these things, she didn't need to go find cultivation resources at all. But Jin Bingyu really wanted to say that her liking Yimo had nothing to do with these things. Although Jin Bingyu grew up in the immortal realm and seemed older than Su Jingwen, but in terms of emotions, Tenjin Bingius couldn't match with Su Jingwen. Now that Jin Bingyu couldn't speak, Su Jingwen knew what she meant and came up grabbing her hand. Sister Bingyu, if he didn't have you in his heart, he wouldn't leave behind these things. Don't worry, I didn't make the decision. Great, Sister Bingyu have divine damnation first. I'll have it last. Yimo said happily. Yimo was injured greatly when tearing open the void. The moment he laid in the Golden Page world, he breathed easy. He was certain that if the two guys in the auction weren't Primordial Essence Divine Emperor, and only halfway Primordial Essence, they wouldn't be able to tear open the space. Even if a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor tore open the void, he might not appear in the same realm as him. Even if one tore open the void at the exact same place and appeared in the same realm, the final destination might be millions of km away. The reason he could tear open the void at the auction was mainly due to the Murder Dao Spear. Without the Murder Dao Spear, even if he used the 7 golden arrow of divine extermination, he wouldn't be able to tear open the void. Yimo didn't even know if it was good to melt the Murder Dao Spear anymore. Yimo laid in the Golden Page world and slowly recovered his injuries. The Golden Page world seemed very calm now. Even Shadowless was cultivating, much less other people. A few days later, Yemo injuries were completely recovered. He felt he was fine. Thus, Yemo sent his spirit sense carefully out of the golden page world. What appeared in his sea of consciousness was completely darkness. This was different to ordinary void. He had never seen this type of void before. He had been through all sorts of voids. But usually, there were many illuminating objects in the void, and thus he could see some light. It was his first time seeing complete darkness in here. The first thing Yemo took out now was the light heart. Yemo collected his feelings, and just when he was about to open it, he felt a spirit sense mark. This was made on the surface of the box. Yemo sneered but didn't destroy the restriction. He just opened the jade box. The vibrant rays of the light heart shot out, forming heat waves. Blue like morning skies, fire spirit Little Blue immediately jumped around in a craze. Yemo released Little Blue without hesitation. Little Blue was like a thirsty person in the desert. It charged at the light heart, and instantly swept around the light heart. Extremely terrifying heat waves spread. Rays of vibrant blue spread in this extreme heat like crazy. As time flew, the blue color and temperature that spread out were slowly collected back by Little Blue. The surface temperature of Little Blue grew lower and lower, and the blue color became more receded until a blue flower floated in front of Yemo. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2157 Melt Murder Dao Spear. Chapter 2157 Melt Murder Dao Spear. Boss, I've reached Divine Flame. Give me that shitty spear. I'll melt it immediately. Little Blue's excited voice sounded. Okay. Yemo immediately threw the Murder Dao Spear to Little Blue. Yemo knew the Murder Dao Spear was very powerful. He was certain that if he spirit controlled a few more levels of restriction, it would be very useful even against Dao Essence Divine Emperor. However, he was worried about the spear. However, when he threw the Murder Dao Spear to Little Blue, the Murder Dao Spear was no longer tame like before. A terrifying and powerful murderous intent erupted that instantly broke free from Little Blue's bindings and disappeared into the heavens. Yemo was very shocked. Little Blue was a divine flame now, and yet the Murder Dao Spear could still break free. He gave the Murder Dao Spear to Little Blue to burn for nearly a year and remove some impure chi, but it didn't affect the Murder Dao Spear at all. Didn't that mean the reason the Murder Dao Spear was burned was because it was willing? Now that blue like morning sky reached Divine Flame and Murder Dao Spear knew danger, that's why it fled. Boss, there's a spear spirit inside the spear. I didn't notice it and it got away. Let me catch it. Little Blue felt very embarrassed. Yemo waved his hand. No need. Yemo grabbed in the void, and the missing Murder Dao Spear appeared in his hand again. In his golden page world, even if the Murder Dao Spear was 10 times stronger, he wouldn't be able to get away. The Murder Dao Spear jumped around uneasily in Yemo's hands. Yemo's spirit sense didn't notice spear spirit, but the restlessness and murderous intent was seeping out. Really amazing. I've spirit controlled the first level of restriction, and yet I didn't know there's a spear spirit hiding in here. Hee hee. Yemo sneered. Clearly, the spear spirit had no good intentions hiding there. If it had good intentions, it would recognize him as master, and he would know the existence of the spear spirit. No wonder he always felt uneasy about the Murder Dao Spear. But then Yemo immediately noticed something was wrong. If the spear spirit was really that powerful, then it should know about him buying the light heart. It should know that if he got the light heart, Little Blue would reach Divine Flame and it would be melted. The Murder Dao Spear shouldn't have helped him escape. Little Blue, never mind, just melt the spear first. Yemo didn't know what was inside the spear and let Little Blue try again. The blue like morning sky swept around the Murder Dao Spear this time, and it couldn't escape. Under 2 layers of binding from Yemo and Little Blue, there was no way it could escape. The Divine Flame carried piercing blue flames, and the impure chi on the surface was immediately melted. There was a cracking sound, and this extremely violent killing intent ravaged in the flames as though it would break free from blue like morning sky and Yemo and charge out of the golden page world. Knowing this, Yemo and blue like morning sky worked together to suppress this killing intent. Those killing intent and killing chi eventually formed Tao waves. Each one of these Tao waves were extremely strong. It was as though any one of them could easily kill a Tao essence divine emperor. Boss, I understand now. It's not a spear spirit, it's murder Tao. Little Blue's voice sounded. Yemo asked in confusion. What is murder Tao? This spear is definitely a primordial spirit artifact, and an extremely powerful one amongst primordial spirit artifact. It was born to kill divine emperors. Countless divine emperors have died to this spear, and the impure chi on it are the Tao waves of all the dead divine emperors. This spear would eventually slay its master. Countless masters have been slayed by it. Each time it kills a divine emperor, it would suck their essence blood and Tao waves. These essence blood and Tao waves formed murder Tao in the spear. Yemo didn't doubt at all that a lot of masters of the spear had been slayed. Which Tao vindication powerful being weren't extremely talented and confident in themselves? How could they believe that they would be slayed by a spear? Even Yemo wouldn't believe he would be killed by a spear he spirit controlled. But Yemo trusted his instincts extremely high ever since he cultivated the three-birth chant. The murder Tao spear gave him a bad feeling, and that's why he was so adamant on destroying it. Otherwise, with how the murder Tao spear helped him twice, there was no way Yemo would melt it. It has extremely terrifying restriction, and if it is to be fused into Zhisu, Zhisu's power would be no weaker than murder Tao's spear. However, we must refine the murder Tao inside the spear and destroy it. This would take many years, Little Blue said. Yemo fell silent for a while. The restrictions of the spear are primordial restrictions. Zhisu restrictions can be changed with upgrades. Just refine out the murder Tao in the spear and I'll seal it. Then you help me upgrade Zhisu. Yemo knew that even as a divine flame, it wouldn't be easy for Little Blue to melt the murder Tao spear completely. So when Little Blue began work, Yemo left the Golden Page world and released Space-Time Boat. He tried to get out of this dark void as quickly as possible. The void here was pitch black and could block spirit sense. Yemo's spirit sense could only stretch out tens of thousands of kilometers. But this was enough for Yemo. He chose a direction and charged forward with full speed. With this void marketplace marker, Yemo didn't believe he would get lost in the void. There were too many races in the void and too many realms. If he found any realm, he would be able to ask about the void marketplace. The idea sounded good, but even with his space-time boat's speed, he had been flying in the void for years and still had no clue. Just when Yemo felt he should change a direction, he sensed Little Blue's calling. Yemo immediately knew that the murder Tao spear was melted, and he put away the space-time boat and came back into the Golden Page world. In the Golden Page world, a purple liquid emitting Tao waves floating in the blue like morning sky. There was also a gray layer on it. Other than that, there was also a red chi floating on the other side of the blue like morning sky. Yemo knew that red chi was the murder Tao inside murder Tao's spear. The purple Tao wave liquid was definitely the melted primordial material. Yemo took out a jade box and sent the red chi inside before putting on restrictions. After this, Yemo threw Zhisu into blue like morning sky and used his spirit sense to help blue like morning sky refine Zhisu. Yemo was a powerful forgery grandmaster, and with Little Blue's help now, Zhisu didn't have much trouble getting upgraded. When Yemo's spirit sense fell on the purple Tao wave liquid, all sorts of information filled over, almost twisting Yemo's sea of consciousness. There were cultivation chi, god art chi, void space chi. Little Blue, what is this? How is it still not burned out? Yemo asked. If these messy chi was fused into Zhisu, it would be the worst. Little Blue quickly said. I've already refined out the chaotic chi, they're just sticking to the surface of this purple material. It's probably information left behind by divine emperors killed by the murder Tao spear. I was afraid it would be useful to you, so I kept it. Yemo quickly said. Separate them immediately. No matter how useful it is, it can't be fused into Zisu. Hearing this, Little Blue immediately swept away the gray chi on the purple liquid. Without the gray layer, the purple liquid shined even brighter. Yemo sealed the gray chi with Jade Box and then helped Little Blue fuse the purple liquid into Zisu. Even if a primordial spirit artifact was melted into primordial material, the restrictions on it were still primordial restrictions. Little Blue intentionally didn't break it, so the restrictions were still there. Zisu was visibly getting stronger. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2158 Powerful Result. Chapter 2158 Powerful Result. A few days later, when those purple liquid completely fused into Zisu, Zisu became ordinary looking. It seemed like an extremely ordinary purple sword floating in a blue flame, but its aura didn't disappear. It still circulated around Zisu. At this moment, Yemo couldn't help at all, and even Little Blue was pushed away. The aura around Zisu kept changing, and even Yemo couldn't tell what was going on. Another few hours later, Zisu suddenly made a crisp sound and the aura completely disappeared. It truly became an ordinary purple sword. Yemo looked dazedly at this purple sword, completely not expecting Zisu that fused with Murder Dao's spear would look this ordinary. It had no killing chi, no blade ray. Yemo grabbed this sword into his hand, and this extremely familiar yet strange feeling came up his heart. As a forgery divine, he couldn't even tell what level this sword was. This wasn't an extreme grade god artifact nor a primordial spirit artifact. Yemo suddenly had this realization. Murder Dao's spear was a primordial material that grew into the Murder Dao spear. It had all the primordial and royal chi. However, he used divine flame to melt the spear and fuse it into Zisu. This was like his cultivation method. Whether it was 3 birth chance sever Dao and then vindicate Dao or body refinement cultivations nirvana. It was the same logic. It severed all the sharp chi and became something that truly fused the Dao waves of the world. It didn't have the shark chi, but it contained its power inside. Yemo learned that his Dao was contained in this too. If one day he reached primordial essence, his chi would return to ordinary just like a mortal. Yemo's mind flashed across all the divine emperors or immortal emperors he had seen. Even if some of their chi was collected, no one could completely reach the level of an ordinary person. Suddenly, his heart was shook. He thought of someone. It was that fortune teller he saw in the small world, Master Tianze. He suspected he saw that old man on Luoyu continent, but he didn't think of that much at the time. Now that he learned this sliver of Dao wave, he immediately thought of that old Taoist. Tianze had such chi, that extremely ordinary chi that seemed to have fused into everything. Realizing this, Yemo was shocked. If Tianze was really as he thought, could he accidentally leave behind the 5-element stool? After a long while, Yemo shook his head. He couldn't think through this and didn't want to keep thinking about it. He subconsciously started to spirit control Zisu. This was the first time that he needed to spirit control Zisu again after upgrading it. When Yemo's spirit sense seeped into Zisu, he found that Zisu's restriction wasn't like Murder Dao's spear's restrictions. It became 9 completely new restrictions. When Yemo started on the first level, he found there were 9 chain restrictions inside. From this, it was clear that the second level of restriction had 18 chain restrictions. At this rate, the 9th level had 81 chain restrictions. Yemo knew now that Zisu was probably a level higher than the Murder Dao spear. Wasn't that beyond primordial spirit artifact then? Wait. Beyond primordial spirit artifact is divine artifact. That is a chaos treasure. Even if Zisu is a bit stronger than Murder Dao's spear, it can't be divine treasure. Divine treasure is born of chaos, but he upgraded Zisu. Yemo didn't think about Zisu's level anymore. He found that Zisu didn't disappoint him. Zisu was his magic artifact and upgraded by him, so it was much easier to spirit control than the Murder Dao spear. Restrictions were spirit controlled, and Emo immersed into this. 10 years later, Emo suddenly got up. He found that he only used 10 years to completely spirit control Zisu. He had finished all 9 levels of restrictions. Until now, Emo finally realized Zisu's power. He was certain that if he fought with Tao Essence Divine Emperor again, even if he just used Zisu, he would be no weaker than them. If he was in that auction room again, Emo was confident he could hack open the space there. This was confidence brought to him by Zisu. From now on, he finally had a good offensive magic artifact. He didn't need to use Zisu that was lesser than a low-grade god artifact to fight with other people's top-grade god artifact. Emo waved his hand and Zisu appeared in his dantian. Zisu no longer needed to be put in storage ring or golden page world. As long as it was nourished in his god essence, it would keep improving. Emo was feeling great. He grabbed that red murder Dao Chi. As soon as Emo's spirit sense touched it, he felt this terrifying violent killing intent. Although he learned a sliver of Dao wave from Zisu's upgrade, his real cultivation level was still just the Dao nourishment divine emperor. That terrifying murder Dao Chi almost twisted Emo's sea of consciousness. Emo had never seen such terrifying murder Dao Chi. Little Blue was right. Murder Dao's spear killed countless divine emperors and devoured their killing intent to form this red murder Dao Chi. This murder Dao was murder Dao's spear's Dao. If Emo didn't fuse murder Dao's spear into Zisu, then perhaps one day, murder Dao's spear would vindicate Dao and became the #1 slaughter weapon of the universe. Emo sighed and continued to seal this murder Dao Chi. He felt he couldn't control it yet. The slaughtering intent inside was too terrifying. Emo grabbed that gray chi again, and when he scanned his spirit sense in, all sorts of impure chi came rushing at all. Emo didn't kick them away this time. He knew that the chi inside came from the ancient powerful beings who died to murder Dao's spear. As a solo cultivator who had no sect nor master, these information were extremely important to him. If he organized them and cast away the useless information, the rest would be very useful to him. Emo put away Little Blue, and the golden page world fell silent again. Everyone had their own thing to do, and Emo was immersed in organizing the information. A few years later, that gray chi disappeared and Emo remembered the useful information. All sorts of God spirit items, Dao fruit, and Chaos spirit items. Primordial materials. Pill recipes, forgery knowledge, formation, runes, Dao vindication pathways. It wasn't just knowledge that appeared in his mind but also learnings of Dao waves and God art that only came with time. Emo was extremely surprised and joyful. He didn't expect that gust of gray chi to be this precious. It was no lesser in value than that purple primordial material. He lacked these things the most. Otherwise, he would have heard about the light heart. From these information, Emo soon knew where he was. He was in a place called the Dark Void. This was a region of void between the Void Marketplace, Demon Realm and Phoenix Realm. He got another more important information from someone called Yuan. The life goal of this person was to find Meng Zhan and rob his 3 pages of primordial golden pages and go to a place in the void to collect a gust of chaos chi. Emo didn't know where Meng Zhan died, but his 3 golden pages were in his hands now. Chaos chi was an essence chi of the world that was born when the world was first created. Yuan didn't have Chaos World, so he couldn't collect the chi. That's why he wanted to kill Meng Zhan. However, he died to the murder Dao spear somehow. Emo didn't move. He took out a jade bead and in just a few seconds, he printed a vast void map into the bead. Inside was a golden spot, and that was the ball of chaos chi in Yuan's memories. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2159 Dao Actualization. Chapter 2159 Dao Actualization. In the Dark Void, Emo sped through like crazy with his space-time boat. Chaos Chi was extremely precious to other people, and to him, it was like his life. This was because he not only had the Chaos World but also Chaos Tree. According to the information left behind by Yuan, the Chaos Chi was sitting in the depth of the dark void. The dark void was boundless and had no god's spirit chi nor any precious things, therefore rarely did people come here. Yuan was trapped in here unable to leave, and thus after staying for a few 100,000 years, he found a Chaos Chi ball. Yuan resisted his excitement, and didn't touch it. Instead, he marked it. He thought that if he couldn't find a way out in another 10,000 years, he would break the ball and get as much as he can. Yuan knew that Chaos Chi balls would slowly dissipate in the void if opened and not taken in time. What Yuan didn't expect was that he was extremely lucky and only used a few 100 years to find a way out, and came to the border demon realm. Despite this, Yuan didn't go out immediately. He continued to map the dark void, fearing he would never be able to find the Chaos Chi once he left. After another few millennia of searching, he completely mastered how to judge direction in the dark voice. Only then did he leave the dark void. He had decided to use all means necessary to rob a chaos item. Even if he couldn't get the 3 golden pages, he would find another chaos item to take away the Chaos Chi ball. However, he never came back ever since he went out. He died to the murder Dao spear. If Yemo didn't melt the murder Dao spear, no one would ever know this secret again. A few years later, Yemo stopped at a place no different to everywhere else. However, Yemo knew that Yuan said the ball of Chaos Chi was here. The darkness here was different to other places. There was a sliver of spirit in this darkness. It was extremely subtle, and if one didn't watch carefully, one wouldn't notice at all. Yemo was certain that if he didn't get news from Yuan, even if he went past here tens of times, he wouldn't notice it. He didn't know how many times Yuan went past here, but Yemo knew that Yuan was definitely much stronger than him. Yemo carefully went towards the region with spirit. 3 days later, Yemo suddenly saw a milky white aura appear before him. Yemo caught this indescribable chi. Yemo rejoiced like crazy. He was certain the information was true. The milky white aura was where the Chaos Chi ball was. The next moment, Yemo put away the space-time boat and came next to a huge white cocoon. Chaos Chi was sealed by the white cocoon. Yemo could still feel the intense Chaos Chi. The next moment, Yemo put away the space-time boat and came up to the huge white cocoon. Chaos Chi was bound by the cocoon, but Yemo could still feel the Chaos Chi there. This dense Chaos Chi was ever more pure than the Golden Page World's Chaos Chi when he first got it. Yemo didn't hesitate at all and tore open this cocoon and went inside. At the same time, he opened the Golden Page World, wanting to send all the chi inside. As soon as Yemo went in the white cocoon, that world creation grand force struck into his will. Yemo instantly lost consciousness. That white cocoon exploded and countless soft chaos chi wrapped Yemo. A 3-meter-tall green tree suddenly rose above Yemo's head and swept in the white chaos chi like crazy. All Yemo's senses had been barricaded at this moment. The milky white chaos chi wasn't swept into the Golden Page World like Yemo imagined. It was devoured by the rose that rose from his head. The chaos tree devoured the chaos chi like crazy and grew like crazy. Waves of Tao Chi circulated around Yemo. Yemo's consciousness gradually fused into the endless world creation Tao. Great Tao had no mark, no need for sharp edges. Time flew by as the chaos tree grew, and Yemo was in enlightenment. Meanwhile, the chaos chi ball kept reducing. This ball of chaos chi was too big. Even after a few decades, the white chi was still circulating around Yemo. The chaos tree had grown to 100 meters tall. Its branches covered this region of space. Feeling that Yemo was learning Tao in the chaos chi, the chaos tree also seeped out some Tao waves to help Yemo learn Tao. Yemo was completely immersed in his enlightenment of his Tao. The little enlightenment coming from upgrading Zisu was now infinitely expanded, and it became clearer and clearer before forming his Tao. Barriers were being torn. Yemo didn't even realize he reached Tao actualization. His enlightenment kept increasing. However, he didn't have any God's spirit chi to help him. The first to notice this was Small Ginseng. Small Ginseng was very sensitive to natural spirit items. When Yemo opened the Golden Page World, although he couldn't send in the chaos chi, a part of it was taken into the Golden Page world. Small Ginseng woke up and immediately left the Golden Page world, coming outside. When he saw the endless milky white chaos chi, he was dumbfounded. How could Small Ginseng not know the preciousness of the chaos chi? He was immediately going to draw it into the Golden Page world, but then he saw that vast chaos tree and the extremely dense life chi emitting from it. He didn't need to do anything and his broken arm visibly grew back. Such powerful life force, Small Ginseng amazed. He could see the trouble his boss had. If he didn't provide his boss with God crystals or God's spirit range, boss's enlightenment might stop due to a lack of God's spirit source. If this enlightenment ended, it would be a huge pity. Small Ginseng gave up drawing the chaos chi into the Golden Page world and quickly threw out Yimo's God crystals and set up spirit gathering formation. Small Ginseng's formation skills weren't bad, but even if he didn't know anything, he just needed to throw the God crystals next to Yimo, and it would be enough for Yimo. 1 billion God crystals stacked around Yimo, but Small Ginseng was still worried. He dragged that extreme grade God spirit range next to Yimo. After doing all these, Small Ginseng breathed easy and started to think about gathering the dispersed chaos chi into the Golden Page world. Small Ginseng's power was too weak and could only gather some. More was dispersing. This ball of chaos chi was just too big. The chaos tree had grown taller than 300 meters. Yimo and the chaos tree devoured the chaos chi faster and faster. Small Ginseng saw the God crystals rapidly deplete, and even the God's spirit range started to deplete. He became very worried. Just when he wanted to bring the rest of the God's spirit ranges all out, he heard Yimo say, "No need, Small Ginseng, my enlightenment has reached its extreme. Even if I have God's spirit range, I wouldn't be able to reach Tao Essence Divine Emperor." Yimo then opened his eyes. His Tao wave chi stealthed and dissipated inside his body. With the help of the chaos tree and chaos chi, he reached Tao actualization peak stage. He's just one step from Tao essence, but Yimo knew that this little step can be an impassable ravine. If he didn't learn the Tao of being ordinary from upgrading Zisu, then even if he reached Tao actualization, he would never be able to reach Tao actualization peak stage. Boss is Tao actualization peak stage. Small Ginseng couldn't see Yimo's cultivation level, but Yimo said it. The chaos tree became ethereal and soon immersed into Yimo's dantian. Yimo sent the rest of the chaos chi into the Golden Page world and said, "Yes, I'm Tao actualization peak stage. Good thing your arm is repaired now. We can go out." Although he was Tao actualization peak stage, Yimo's powerful strength made him believe he had the power to kill Tao essence masters. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2160 Return to the Void Marketplace. Chapter 2160 Return to the Void Marketplace. If he didn't reach Tao actualization peak stage, Yimo would think to enter the demon realm and ask about the abyssal realm. He wouldn't dare to go to the Void Marketplace. But now, the first place Yimo wanted to go was the Void Marketplace. With his current cultivation level and power, there was no doubt he could kill Tao Essence. Through his enlightenment, he learned the difference between Tao Vindication's second step and third step. The third step was Primordial Essence. Primordial Essence masters can easily tear open void. Their will was powerful to the extreme. Therefore, Yimo was certain that the two powerful beings he saw at the auction weren't Primordial Essence Divine Emperors. Their spirit sense was strong but couldn't compare with Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. They were at most two halfway Primordial Essence. The difference between halfway Primordial Essence and Primordial Essence Divine Emperor was heavens apart. Yimo wasn't scared. With his current power level and Zisu, even if he didn't use Golden Arrow of Divine Extermination, he wouldn't be killed by half Primordial Essence. At most, he would run away. Now, Yimo found a place in the dark void. He felt that space was weak and released Zisu, hacking out. An extremely vibrant purple color sliced across the dark void. The beam was so bright that it illuminated the entire dark void purple. Under this purple color, a crack opened in the void. The crack wasn't big, but it was much bigger than the small crevice Yimo worked so hard to open before. A few void wind blades flew over, meaning that this void realm was opened up by Yimo. Yimo ignored the wind blades and went into the crack he opened up. The next moment, the crack disappeared gradually. Yimo stood in the familiar void and felt very excited. Just one strike and he knew how much he had improved. Before, he used the Tao restriction pill, formation, golden arrow of divine extermination and murder Tao spear. Even after using all that, he only barely opened a crevice for the golden page world to slip in. But today, he casually swung and he opened a crack enough to fit his entire body easily. This was the difference. Yimo stood in the void and desperately wanted a Tao Essence Divine Emperor to fight him. After a long while, Yimo released Space-Time Boat. The location disc on it showed a bright spot, which was the Void Marketplace. Yemo exclaimed. This was the benefit of being powerful. Otherwise, he might need a few hundred or 1,000 years to come back here. If one day he reached primordial essence, perhaps his spirit sense could cross the void and realms. Space-Time Boat sliced through the void and headed to the Void Marketplace at its fastest speed. In just 2 months, the Space-Time Boat stopped outside the Void Marketplace. In order for people to not care, Yemo showed his cultivation level to be Tao Actualization Primary Stage. He was Tao Nourishment Peak Stage before. It was no wonder that he reached Tao Actualization Primary Stage. When Yemo went in, he found that the Void Marketplace was much more busy than before. He saw many more human races before. A familiar person flashed across his eyes. Yemo immediately recognized that person. He was Great Sun God Mountain Dong, and Yemo didn't expect Dongan to have really come to the Void Marketplace. He was halfway Tao Essence now. Yemo guessed it was the help of the Tao fruit he gave Dongan. Just when Yemo wanted to greet Dongan, Yemo saw the Tao Essence Divine Emperor next to Dongan and gave up the thought. He was close to Dongan, but he had conflict with the Great Sun God Mountain. The Tao Essence Divine Emperor next to him was quite possibly from Great Sun God Mountain. 3 more people appeared in Yemo's vision. Yemo knew 2 of them. The 3 were probably from the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect. The strongest was Tao Actualization Divine Emperor Wang Nanchuang. Yemo had a good impression of her, as Xiuyun's master said Wang Nanchuang detested evil and hated being pretentious. The other 2 was Tao Nourishment Divine Emperors. One was Jishi, but Yemo didn't know the third. If it was other people from the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect, Yemo wouldn't be bothered to go up, but since Jishi appeared here, Yemo immediately walked up and stopped them. The Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect was a top sect that no one dared to mess with in the divine Tao realm other than the Great Sun God Mountain. But in the Void Marketplace, the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect was nothing. The 3 were very careful. Now that a person suddenly came before them, they subconsciously retreated a few steps. Then they saw it was Yemo. It's you? The 3 recognized Yemo at the same time. Yemo said expressionlessly. That's right, it's me. Then he looked at Jishi. Gee, when are you planning to give me what you owe me? Hearing Yemo reply rudely, Wang Nanchuang's face sunk, but she didn't do anything. She knew Yemo's power. The 3 of them combined was no match for Yemo's power. She was even more shocked at Yemo's cultivation speed. He only seemed to be Tao Molding Divine Emperor before, but now, he was a Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. Marshal Uncle Nanchuang and Marshal Sister Yueha, go to the Immortal Rest Tower first. I have some business with MBE. Jishi said. She knew Yemo was after the 3 treasure primordial essence gourd. No, we'll go together, Wang Nanchuang said without hesitation. How could she let Jishi leave with Yemo alone? The Void Marketplace was dangerous, and Yemo was an enemy of the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect. Their words immediately caught the attention of Dongan and them. The Tao Essence Divine Emperor turned around and saw Yemo. He immediately walked over. Dongan and the other 3 people came too. Brother Yi, long time no see. Dongan looked at Yemo in shock and came up to greet. He was shocked at Yemo's cultivation level. he was already Tao actualization. Haha, I didn't expect to meet Castle Master Dong at the Void Marketplace. Yemo smiled and returned the gesture. Elder Dong, you know him? That great Sun God Mountain Tao Essence Divine Emperor looked at Dongan in confusion. Dongan quickly told him about how he met Yemo. The Tao Essence Divine Emperor looked at Yemo and then Wang Nanshuang and suddenly asked, "You're the person who took away Saint Mu Xiaoyun from the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect? Did you know that Mu Xiaoyun was a saint that the great Sun God Mountain ordered?" Yemo looked at this Tao Essence and said coldly, "Piss off, I'm not in the mood to look for your trouble." If it was outside he would have killed this Tao Essence Divine Emperor already, but now, he didn't want to fight in the Void Marketplace. He needed to get back the gourd first. He would definitely kill this Tao Essence Divine Emperor. Not only that, he would annihilate Great Sun God Mountain. Hearing a Tao Actualization Divine Emperor dare to tell him to piss off, this Tao Essence Divine Emperor's killing intent immediately spread out. Sensing this, the nearby ordinary Divine Emperors all left. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2161 Ask for 3 Treasure Gourd. Chapter 2161 Ask for 3 Treasure Gourd. Pill Divine Yi! A voice of surprise and joy sounded, and a gray man appeared before him. His skin and hair as well as robes were completely gray. As soon as this man landed, the killing intent of the Great Sun God Mountain Tao Essence Divine Emperor was instantly dispersed. People could tell that this gray man dispersed the killing intent. Yemo saluted with his fists. "So it's Brother Xing. I haven't seen you for a while indeed." This person was Xing Hong. "Congratulations on reaching Tao Actualization Divine Emperor Pill Divine Yi. If you don't mind, we're willing to hold an immortal fruit party for you," Xing Hong said happily. Compared to how calmly he was with Yemo last time, his expression was much more vivid. He thought Yemo would agree to him before, so he didn't watch Yemo. He thought this Pill Divine Yi would soon come to find him. However, Pill Divine Yi disappeared for 100 years. Although there were legends that Pill Divine Yi was killed by Wan Tong Tong, but as a Tao Essence Divine Emperor, he didn't believe a Pill Divine would die that easily. Otherwise, there was no way Yemo would reach Pill Divine. Then, Xing Hong went to investigate the situation. Things were indeed different to rumors. When Yemo left the Void Marketplace, he intentionally left marks along the way. That's how Bailey Hong caught up to Wan Tong Tong. There was no way Wan Tong Tong would leave these marks as she was hunting Yemo, so it was definitely Yemo who left behind these marks. Knowing that Yemo might have not died, Xing Hong kept Yemo's stall. However, he was disappointed as Yemo truly never came back again. Now, 100 years had passed, and Yemo came back to the Void Marketplace. How could he not be excited? A Tao Actualization Pill Divine, how could the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower let him go? Hearing this, the people nearby looked at Yemo with different light. Was there a need to celebrate Yemo reaching Tao Actualization Divine Emperor when there were this many Tao Actualization Divine Emperors in the Void Marketplace? It was just to suck up to Yemo. No need for the celebration party. I still have a private business to deal with. After I deal with that, I will go to Void Marketplace Merchant Tower to visit Brother Xing, Yemo said calmly. He knew that Xing Hong did all this so he could concoct pills for the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower long term, but there was no way he would do that. Xing Hong quickly said, "I'm not busy, I'll help you." Then his smile faded and he stared coldly at the Great Sun God Mountain Tao Essence Divine Emperor. "You dare to be so rude to Pill Divine Yi? Do you think you're a Tao Essence Divine Emperor so you can be cocky in the Void Marketplace?" This Great Sun God Mountain Tao Essence Divine Emperor was already completely shocked when he saw Xing Hong be so polite to Yemo. He didn't even dare to bullshit to an ordinary immortal friends from the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower, much less a Void Marketplace Merchant Tower Tao Essence Divine Emperor. "I don't dare to. I just saw that Pill Divine Yi came from the Divine Tao realm, that's why I wanted to greet him." the Tao Essence Divine Emperor quickly said. Xinghong ignored him and asked Emo, Pill Divine Yi, do you need me to help kill this bastard? His tone sounded like it was as simple as killing an insect. The great Sun God Mountain Tao Essence Divine Emperor heard this and shook. Killing him like that, this was too cruel. But he knew that the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower had the right to say such words. Emo smiled. Thank you, Brother Xing, but no need for now. Then he looked at this Tao Essence Divine Emperor. You've greeted me already, you can piss off. In time, I will go vice Great Sun God Mountain with Shaoyan. By the way, Great Sun God Mountain has a Great Sun God Peak. I plan to use that as a urine kettle. Hearing this, the Tao Essence Divine Emperor's face went green, but he didn't dare to say anything. He could only forbear his fury and walk away. He swore that if he saw Emo alone, he would turn them to dust. Humph! Xinghong sneered. Emo smiled to Xinghong. Brother Xing, there seems to be a sudden increase in people in the Void Marketplace. There's more humans than before too. What's going on? Seeing this, Xinghong smiled and said, You should know this. The Tao Fruit Tower is about to open. Many people came to enter it. Of course, if Pill Divine Yi needs a spot, then I have it covered. Emo's cultivation level was no weaker than Tao Essence Divine Emperor. He really didn't care if there was top Tao fruit in the tower, so he quickly waved his hand. I don't need it for now. If I really do, then I'll ask Brother Xing for help. Emo didn't care about this spot, but Wang Nanshuang and them on the side were dazed. She almost wanted to charge up and grab Emo's shirt and ask him if he was crazy. They all came for the Tao Fruit Tower spot. Even if they couldn't go in, they would want to exchange for a Tao fruit from inside. Due to this, they brought the most precious things in their sect. Xinghong looked at Ji Shi and the two other women next to her and smiled. Okay, Pill Divine Yi, do your things first. After you're done, I'll come invite Pill Divine Yi. Then Xinghong left and disappeared into the crowd. Seeing this, Wang Nanshuang suddenly saluted with his fists. Pill Divine Yi, you go discuss with Ruashi. I will go back the rest tower first with Martial Sister Yueha. Wang Nanshuang dragged the other Tao Nourishment Divine Emperor away. Ji Shi knew what her martial uncle meant, but she sighed. It's not her first day knowing Emo. No matter what she say, Emo wasn't going to give the immortal goddess sacred sect a Tao Fruit Tower spot. Even if she sacrificed her body, Emo wouldn't agree. Plus, she wouldn't do that. 5 minutes later, Emo and Ji Shi appeared in an immortal rest tower room. At this time, it was impossible to find a room in the immortal rest tower, but when Emo walked in with her, the attendant asked if Emo wanted a room. Ji Shi thought, as long as she was with Emo, there didn't seem to be anything hard. That was how she survived in the life-crippling bridge. After closing the door, Emo waved up a restriction and looked calmly at her. I don't have time to waste, give me what you owe. Ji Shi quickly said apologetically. MB Yi, if the other half of the gourd is won me right now, I will definitely give it to you. What do you mean? Emo's tone went cold. Before she schemed against Xiaoyun, Emo had some good impression towards Ji Shi, but now, she was no different to Ji Sini in Emo_S eyes. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2162 I'm Not Free. Chapter 2162 I'm Not Free. Martial Brother Yi, listen to me first. I was planning to give that gourd to Martial Sister Xiaoyun, but something happened in between. Before I could give it to her, you took Martial Sister Xiaoyun away. Ji Shi's tone was extremely genuine. Emo knew this. Xiaoyun said Ji Shi was going to give her something, but Xiaoyun missed him too much and didn't care. Even so, Emo interrupted Ji Shi. Just tell me where the gourd is now. I've left the gourd with my master. I don't know how long it will take for me to go back from the Void Marketplace. I don't even know if I can go back. I was afraid you would go to the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect to ask for the gourd, so I left it there. If I knew you came to the Void Marketplace, I would bring it. Ji Shi sighed. She was telling the truth. That half-gourd had no use to her. She didn't need to offend Yemo for it. Yemo's heart surged with disappointment. He got up. He didn't have the mood to talk with Jishi anymore. Seeing Yemo get up, Jishi got up too. Martial brother, ye thank you. Yemo knew that she was thanking him for saving her life on the life-crippling bridge. But Jishi knew Xiaoyun was his wife and still didn't try to help her. Yemo's impression of her was extremely bad. Seeing Yemo couldn't be bothered to talk to her, Jishi said dejectedly, Martial brother Yi, how is martial sister Xiaoyun? Yemo stopped and turned around saying coldly, Jishi, that's not something you need to care about. Just give me that gourd. If I go back to the divine Tao realm and find out you're lying one single bit, then I will annihilate immortal goddess sacred sect before the great sun god mountain does. Then Yemo walked out and disappeared from this immortal rest tower. Yemo just walked out of the tower, and an extremely pretty goddess bowed. May I ask if you're Pill Divine Yi Master? Yemo looked at her in confusion. He didn't know her at all. Then Yemo thought of Xing Hong and immediately said, I am. The goddess quickly said, Xing Hing, invite Pill Divine Master to chat at the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. I was ordered to wait here for you. Okay, lead the way. Yemo was planning to go vice Xing Hong. He wasn't scared of them, but it was good to connect with them. Seeing Yemo so compliant, the goddess said in surprise and joy, Thank you, Pill Divine Yi, this way please. Wait. They were suddenly stopped in a motionless voice. At the same time, a man with blue lethal light on his face appeared before the two. His hair was messy, and he was Tao Essence Divine Emperor peak stage. He seemed very messy, but his icy cold killing intent could be felt by all those around him. Yemo didn't move. He knew this person. When he acted as a Tao Essence Divine Emperor coming back to the Void Marketplace, this guy was looking for him. He didn't your Pill Divine Yi? The Tao Essence Divine Emperor stared at Yemo for a while before asking. Yemo answered plainly, Yes, I am. I'm Qiao He. I've been waiting for you in the Void Marketplace for 100 years. Please come with me. As he spoke, his powerful killing intent receded, but his tone was still icy cold. It was as though that because he told Yemo to go, Yemo should go with him, no questions asked. I'm Pill Divine Yi indeed, but why should I go with you? Yemo asked back. Hearing this, Qiao He's killing intent soared. As his killing intent soared, a burst of blue circulated around his body. Even he didn't expect that Yemo dared to argue back. Yemo was already annoyed that he didn't get the gourd, and now Qiao He dared to act so cocky in front of him. Facing Qiao He's powerful lethal force, Yemo went in instead and smashed out his domain. Yemo's domain was about to become a realm, and with his spirit sense domain on top, Qiao He was pushed back tens of steps even though he was Tao Essence peak stage. Qiao He's lethal force domain crumbled under Yemo's domain. Qiao He looked at Yemo in disbelief. He completely didn't expect this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor could so easily break his Tao Essence domain. This wasn't him attacking at full power, but he could tell that even if he attacked with full power, he wouldn't be able to get an advantage with Yemo. Was this Tao Actualization Pill Divine only a Tao Actualization? Yemo ignored Qiao He and walked up to that scared pretty goddess and said, Ignore this cocky bastard, lead the way. Okay. The goddess suppressed her shock and quickly led in front. Pill Divine Yi, wait. Qiao He came up. Yemo no longer had his patience and looked coldly at Qiao He. What, do you want to fight? Then go. No, Pill Divine Yi, our palace lord is inviting you to be a guest. Please. His tone was much calmer this time. Yemo said without hesitation. Tell your pai I have no time. Then Yemo sped up and the goddess sped up. Seeing Yemo ignore him, Qiao He's face went blue for a while, but he controlled himself. Instead, he followed Yemo to the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. Pill Divine Yi, please come in. Xing Hong greeted up before Yemo even walked in. Xing Hong invited Yemo into the Merchant Tower's luxurious guest hall and told the goddesses to bring the best immortal fruit and immortal tea. Yemo drank the tea and aroma circulated non-stop. The aroma could clear up one's sea of consciousness. Pill Divine Yi, this is the best Snow Ripple tea from Snow Ripple Lake. If Pill Divine Yi likes it, I'll give you some. Seeing Emo seemingly like this tea, Xing Hong immediately smiled and said, Then thank you, Brother Xing. Did you find me to give me some immortal tea, or is it for something else? Emo didn't have the mood to waste time here. He wanted to find a place to rest and then ask about the Abyssal Realm. Xing Hong smiled awkwardly. Pill Divine Yi probably knows what I want. Our merchant tower is quite powerful in the Void Marketplace, but unfortunately, our top Pill Divines are growing less. There's not a single Pill Divine like Pill Divine Yi. Seeing Emo not talk, Xing Hong could only continue. Everyone knows Pill Divine Yi's power in the Void Marketplace. If you're willing, our merchant tower wants to invite Pill Divine Yi to join our merchant tower. Emo immediately said, Thank you, Brother Xing, but God Crystals and God's Spirit Range are not very attractive to me anymore, and I can't join the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. Of course, if the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower needs me to concoct pills, then on Brother Xing's account I can do a few batches. As for fees, there's no need, but my pill concoction success rate is only 50%. Xing Hong knew that inviting someone like Emo to join them wasn't realistic unless he used forced. But as a Pill Divine, if Emo went in and never came back out, it would clearly have a huge effect on the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower's reputation. Plus, he also knew that He wanted to invite Emo to concoct pills. It was already great that Emo offered to concoct pills. Hearing that Emo actually had 50% success rate, Xing Hong quickly said, Thank you very much, Pill Divine Yi. I really want to ask you to concoct some pills. You only need to give us 30%, the rest will be yours. Emo smiled. No, I can't trouble Brother Xing. I said 50%, so 50% it is. Perhaps I will be needing Brother Xing's help in the Void Marketplace. Xing Hong was very happy. God Pills had a very low success rate, and now that Emo said he was giving 50% to them, it was a huge favor. He said with some pity, We wanted to buy that light heart for Pill Divine Yi, but pity it was taken by an extremely powerful half-primordial essence master. Emo didn't listen to that at all. He didn't believe they would give the light heart to him. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2163 Spot Distribution Gathering. Chapter 2163 Spot Distribution Gathering. Although Emo looked down on what Xing Hong said, he still asked in shock. There's actually halfway primordial essence masters who came to the auction. Xing Hong sighed. Yeah, and there wasn't just one. Luckily, the auction side had a halfway primordial essence master too, or things would have been dangerous. The one who bought the light heart is probably a demon race divine emperor. He hid his power to Tao essence, but when he tore open the space in the room, he exposed his power. Emo nodded. It was hard for even halfway primordial essence to tear open the Void Marketplace space. But since the buyer ran away, he was at most a halfway primordial essence. If it was a primordial essence divine emperor, he wouldn't need to run away. Xing Hong clearly didn't have the mood to keep talking about the light heart. He took out a jade card for Emo and said, Pill Divine Yi, this is the jade card for the biggest immortal rest tower of our Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. If you use this to enter Void Star Immortal Rest Tower, you can choose any room to go in. Emo quickly took the jade card and said, Thank you, Brother Xing. I do have a few things to ask Brother Xing. Xing Hong was in a good mood and quickly said, Just ask me whatever you need, Pill Divine Yi. I'll tell you whatever I know. I heard Brother Xing say before that the Tao Fruit Tower was about to open. How much time is there left? Emo didn't want to go in the Tao Fruit Tower, but he wanted to buy some Tao fruits outside. With his pill concoction capabilities, it wasn't very hard. Hearing Emo ask about the Tao Fruit Tower again, Xing Hong immediately said, There's 3 months till the Tao Fruit Tower opens. There's a lot of things before it opens. Emo nodded. I know, you told me last time. There will be a God rank and Tao rank challenge. That's right. On the Void Marketplace God Rank Square, there will be 2 battle stages for the challenges. The challenge for them hasn't begun, but the distribution for the different races is about to begin. At that time, the powerful beings of all the races will gather together and discuss the distribution of the Dao Fruit Tower spots. Xinghong said. How many spots does each race have? Does it need to be redistributed each time the Dao Fruit Tower opens? Yemo asked in shock. He thought the spots were distributed already. Xinghong said. Of course, but you might have understood wrong. This distribution isn't to take out all the spots of the races and redistribute them. It's redistribution of the extra ones. For example, the human race was once very strong and had 30 spots to enter the Dao Fruit Tower. Later, the divine Dao realm was broken, and after a while, no human race powerful beings came to this distribution. Thus, there are extra spots. The divine emperors of the god ranks won't all come to the Dao Fruit Tower, so there will be extra spots from there. Are there no powerful beings to represent the human race ever since the divine Dao realm was broken? Yemo asked in shock. To him, although the divine Dao realm was broken, but there were still quite some Dao essence masters. There shouldn't be no one to lead the way. Xinghong knew Yemo was human, so he could only speak for Yemo and sighed. Of course there is, but every time a powerful being came to represent the human race, he would be killed at the distribution, so in time, no divine emperor came to represent the human race. Why would they be killed? Is the human race representative going to be killed for just asking for a few spots? Yemo asked in confusion. Xinghong sighed. I remember the last time a representative for the human race came, he was a Dao Essence Divine Emperor. He just asked for 2 spots, but he was still challenged by a demon race Dao Essence Divine Emperor. He was killed, and then the 2 spots were taken by the demon race. Yemo's face sunk. He was a human too. They only asked for 2 out of the 30 spots of human race, and the demon race Divine Emperor would kill them. Just how cocky were they? Pill Divine Yi, you're from the human race. If you become a Dao Essence Pill Divine, then it's not impossible to help the human race get a few spots. Xinghong could tell Yemo wasn't happy and added, Is the strongest representative Primordial Essence Divine Emperor? Yemo asked. Xinghong smiled. How can there be that many Primordial Essence Divine Emperor? Each race only has 1 or 2 Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. They're all perfecting their own world. Who would have the time to come to this distribution? So, it's only Dao Essence peak stages. Even halfway Primordial Essences are very rare to see. But of course, the number of Primordial Essence Divine Emperors a race has is their confidence. Realizing this, Yemo nodded. Thank you for letting me know. I still want to ask you for help. Just say it, Pill Divine Yi. Xinghong said. Yemo said without hesitation. I want to represent the human race for this Dao Fruit Tower spot distribution gathering. If the human race didn't even have the opportunity to enter the Dao Fruit Tower, and just cowered in a broken realm, how can they ever get strong? They would only get weaker and weaker. Even if some sects use resources to buy Dao fruits, it was a bad decision. A sect's resources is used to cultivate Wanbais. If these resources flowed into the void marketplace, it would create a negative cycle. Plus, without the protection of powerful divine emperors, can people protect their Dao fruits? Xinghong looked at Yemo in shock and asked after a long while. Pill Divine Yi, you want to participate in the Dao Fruit Tower spot distribution gathering? Yes, I do. How do I go? Yemo asked. Xinghong finally realized that Yemo meant in. His face became serious, and he saluted with his fists. Pill Divine Yi, there are some things I need to be clear with you. I hope you don't mind. Please say it, I won't mind. Yemo could guess what Xinghong was going to say. Xinghong said, Although in the void marketplace and amongst other races, Pill Divines and Forgery Divines are the most respected, they have no special right in this gathering. The representative of any race could challenge you for a spot and you have to accept. If you lose and die, you will lose the spot. I need to tell you that although there are no Primordial Essence Divine Emperors, the people who go are Dao Essence and even Dao Essence Peak Stage. Pill Divine Yi, your only Tao actualization, and you just reached it. Emo got up and saluted with his fists. Thank you, Brother Xing, for thinking for me, but I've made up my mind to join. Please help me. Of course, I don't mean to help me during the gathering, but just to help me participate. I believe there's still a few days before the gathering. If Brother Xing is worried, I can concoct pills before I go. Xing Hong suddenly thought of Wan Tong Tong and them. They were from the god rank, but they couldn't do anything to Yemo. Even if Yemo was no match, he wouldn't be instantly killed. Then, the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower would save him. That way, how can Yemo not be grateful towards them? Thinking about this, Xing Hong said, it's very simple to join. Since Pill Divine Yi is set on joining, then leave it to me. I will sign up for you. 9 days later, the gathering will be held at the God Rank Square. Yemo was quite happy when he left the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. He didn't believe he would lose to Tao Essence Divine Emperors. Pill Divine Yi, Xiao He has been waiting for a long time. That messy-haired Tao Essence Divine Emperor stopped Yemo again, but his face was much more respectful this time. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2160 for the most expensive payment. Chapter 2160 for the most expensive payment. Yemo said impatiently. What do you want? I just said I don't have time to go with you for pill concoction. Move aside. Xiao He was very patient and said, Pill Divine Yi, I was rude before. I apologize for that. I've been searching in the Void Marketplace for more than 100 years. I think only Pill Divine Yi can concoct such pill, that's why I waited here for so long. I want to invite Pill Divine Yi to come with me to the Guanyuan Palace. I can agree to any conditions Pill Divine Yi has. Xiao He clearly wasn't a good talker. Yemo wasn't going to go with him just because he said that. Yemo stared at Xiao He and said, I'm very busy now and you can ask me to help concoct pills. Bring the materials over and I can do one for you. The cost is 100 million God crystals and I'll give you 30% of the pills. I'm not going to go with you. 1 million God crystals for one cauldron of pills seemed like an absurd price, but Yemo knew this price wasn't much. Xiao He pleaded him like this, so it definitely was no simple pill. Perhaps it was even Tao Essence God pill. For a cauldron of Tao Essence God pill, people would be willing to pay a few 100 million. Plus, 30% wasn't little. Xiao He frowned bitterly and said, Pill Divine Yi, if that would work I would definitely bring the materials over for you to concoct. It's just that the materials can't be brought here. That's why I want to ask Pill Divine Yi to come to Guanyuan Palace? Yemo stopped and looked at Xiao He asking, What pill is it? It can't be brought over to be made? Yemo asked because he was really curious. Even if it was some god's spirit herb that must be used immediately upon digging it, Xiao He would be able to bring it to him. Shaking light soul refining pill. Xiao He said and looked at Yemo. What? Yemo looked at Xiao He in shock. If it was before, he wouldn't even have heard of such pill, but after getting all the information from the murder Tao spear, he knew very clearly what the shaking light soul refining pill was. When he first knew about this pill, he even used the 3-birth chant to derive it. He knew that it was impossible for such pill to be made. He didn't know why someone left such pill recipe. The reason he cared about the pill was because of its effects. This pill could condense soul and return life force. He wanted to see if this pill could save CWQ. In the vast universe, there was a condition called soul loosening. This was prenatal. There was no way to cure this. As it grew worse, the soul would eventually be annihilated. People with such condition cannot cultivate at all and are very weak. They only live till their soul is completely annihilated. This process usually isn't very long, at most 100 years. Even if the process is very long, a person who can't cultivate can only survive for 100 years. The most important thing is that this pill required 999 different types of immortal spirit herbs and God's spirit herb. The main spirit herb is called shaking light herb. It's not chaos herb nor top god spirit herb, but its value is no lower than chaos herb. This herb must not be moved away. It can't see light. If it was moved or put in light, it would wither within 15 minutes. This means that even if the pill could be made, it must be made within 15 minutes. The shaking light herb took 10,000 years to mature. More important, it would only mature if it was watered with 100 million-year-old god marrow. How much would that be for 10,000 years? Other people thought that if these conditions are met, the pill could be made, but Yemo knew this wasn't the case. Even if these spirit herb and God's spirit herbs were mixed together, it still lacked something. It wasn't a God's spirit herb, it was life force. It wasn't ordinary life force but chaos life force. Only he had such life force. Only the chaos tree's chaos life force could ensure that the pill was concocted. How could Yemo take such business? Even if there was the shaking light herb, Yemo would reject without hesitation. These thoughts spun rapidly in his head. Then Yemo sneered at Xiaohe. Sorry, ask for someone else powerful. You've been in the void marketplace for more than 100 years and you want me to concoct the shaking light soul refining pill to save someone with a loosened soul. Even if your palace lord has heaven shocking power to preserve that person from dying, that person can't be saved. Do as you please. Hearing this, Xiaohe was instead very surprised and joyful. He knelt down in front of Yemo and said, Please help Pill Divine Yi. My palace lord has 3 shaking light herb. He invited 2 of the top pill divines, but they had to rely on the palace lord to provide the recipe. You can imagine the result. There's only 1 shaking light herb left. If Pill Divine Yi don't help, then no one can concoct such pill. Yemo didn't expect a Tao Essence Divine Emperor peak stage would kneel down in front of all these people on the streets. Yemo frowned. Get up and talk. Yes. Xiaohe was very obedient this time and got up immediately. Yemo didn't have a good feeling. Xiaohe was a Tao Essence Divine Emperor peak stage and was willing to kneel to him. Didn't that mean the Palace Lord Wasa? Primordial Essence Divine Emperor? If a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor thought he could concoct the pill, how can he get away? Although he had the means to kill Tao Essence Divine Emperor, it wasn't enough to protect himself in the universe. Xiaohe said, Our Palace Lord said if someone can concoct the shaking light pill, he's willing to give 10 extreme grade God spirit range, 10 billion God crystals and 100 drops of 100 million year God marrow, 10 Tao fruits and your selection of 3 extreme grade God artifacts. You can even ask for primordial spirit artifacts. Hearing this payment, Yemo took in a cold breath. He had always thought he was wealthy, but compared to this offer, he was a beggar. There was this many things, how could he reject it? This was a test of heart. If he wanted to concoct pills, he would have to use the Chaos Tree life force. If he didn't use the life force, it would be a waste too. Yemo hesitated for half a day and said, I'm busy now, so I can't go with you. Xiaohe said without hesitation. It's fine, I'm not busy, I can follow you. When you have time, you can come with me. Pill Divine Yi can consider me an errand boy. If you need me to do anything, just tell me. Yemo thought about the upcoming Tao fruit distribution gathering and nodded. Then stay with me. It might take 100 years. If you can't wait that long, then there's nothing I can do. The reason Yemo said 100 years was because he felt his power was a bit too low to go to a primordial essence's place to concoct pills. The reward was good, but he needed to be able to protect him. That meant that before he reached Tao Essence Divine Emperor, it was best that he didn't go. No matter how good the things were, he would need to have the life to use it. Xiaohe quickly said, No need, when our young mistress was BOM, her soul was loose. The Palace Lord immediately planted 3 shaking light herb and used Death Tao fruit to preserve her life for 1 million years. Now, it has been 10,000 years. It's a bit hard to preserve her soul from loosening, but it should last a few hundred years. Yemo sighed. This Guangyuan Palace Lord was really wealthy. He could easily take out something like Death Tao fruit. Yemo nodded. Okay, I am staying at Void Star Immortal Rest Tower for now. 9 days later I will be going to the God Rank Square for the Dao Fruit Tower spot distribution gathering. Wait for me there. Yemo didn't intend to get Xiao He to help, but he was Dao Essence peak stage. He would be useful around him. Yes, I understand. Xiao He saw Yemo, said nothing more and quickly left. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2165 Person Who Don't Mind His Own Business. Chapter 2165 Person Who Don't Mind His Own Business. When Yemo entered the Void Star Immortal Rest Tower, the attendants came to greet him before he even took out his jade card. During these 9 days, Yemo didn't go out. He just stayed inside thinking about the things he would face. He wasn't worried at all about the spot distribution gathering. He was thinking about if he should help that Primordial Essence Palace Lord concoct pills. If he did, he would get resources he had dreamed of, but there was equally as much danger. If he didn't go, all these good things would disappear and he might have to face the hunt of a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. Yemo hadn't seen a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor before, but he knew they definitely weren't simple. Time flew by and 9 days were gone. Xinghong was worried about Yemo, but he didn't ask Yemo to concoct pills these few days. If he did, that would mean he was scared that Yemo would be killed at the gathering. The God Rank Square was enormous. There were restrictions and formations everywhere. At the top, there were 2 stone tablets that soared high into the clouds. The tablet was golden and the words on it were white. The other tablet was white color, but the words were golden. Yemo looked at these 2 tablets and knew they were the God and Divine rank of the Void Marketplace. The golden tablet was probably the God rank, and the white one was the Divine rank. Each tablet had a huge stage before it. There were restrictions all around the stage. Yemo's spirit sense scanned and immediately knew these 2 stages were for the challengers. The restrictions around them were so powerful that Yemo guessed even Dao Essence Masters might not be able to break it. There were a lot of people on the square, but because this square was simply too big, there actually didn't seem to be that many people. Pill Divine Yi. When Yemo was still studying the stages, Xiao He already came to Yemo and greeted him. Just when Yemo wanted to speak, he heard a cold voice. Luo Qinghe, since you came, then accept my challenge. From today onwards, the 383rd place on the God rank belongs to me, Wu Kong. Then, a man wearing black robes landed on the stage. This person was Dao Actualization Peak Stage. His face was already white, but with the black clothes he was wearing, it seemed even more pale. He had waves of demonic chi circulating around him. Anyone could tell he was a demon race Dao Actualization Divine Emperor. Cocky words. The next moment, a blue immortal robed man landed on the stage. Yemo was surprised. This Luo Qinghe was a Dao Actualization Divine Emperor Peak Stage 2, but this person was also human. Ever since coming to the Void Marketplace, Yemo had the feeling that the human race was very weak and timid. He didn't expect there was human race Divine Emperor on the God rank. It seemed that Xinghong didn't lie to him. There were 2 human Divine Emperors on the God rank. Where was the other one? The demon race Dao Actualization Divine Emperor saw Luo Qinghe get up, and he couldn't even be bothered talking as he released the golden demonic whip. In that instant, the stage was covered by dark light, but there was golden color amidst this dark light. Luo Qinghe didn't retreat at all. He released a blue long sword at the same time. It also turned into a blue veil of swords. There was spirit sense barrier on the stage, so everyone could only watch with their eyes. People could only see clashes of blue and black rays. They couldn't tell who had the upper hand. Yemo's spirit sense couldn't scan in too. He had spirit sense cultivation method, but he couldn't publicly break the rules. When he was thinking about who would win, he noticed something. That blue sword shadow gave him an extremely familiar feeling. He had seen such cultivation method before. Soon Yemo remembered. The blue sword shadow was the same origin as the cultivation method Su Changji used. Su Chongji was his martial brother, a disciple he took for his master. He changed up Su Chongji's cultivation method, and that cultivation method was called Qin He God Cultivation Chant. Thinking about how this person was called Luo Qinghe, Yemo realized. He was certain that Su Chongji's cultivation method was left behind by this Luo Qinghe. This meant that Luo Qinghe had been to Luo Yu continent. Yemo sighed. The universe was vast, but once your cultivation level reached a certain stage, this endless universe would become small. Luo Qinghe came to the void marketplace and made a name for himself. He even became a divine emperor on the god rank. The two were invisible to the crowd. There was just clashes of black whip shadows and blue sword shadows with intense sounds. In a violent beast-like roar, the audience saw a black beast shadow. Yemo immediately recognized this was a mist demon beast. This one was countless times stronger than the one he had seen before. Everyone could tell that Wukong released this mist demon beast. It was extremely real and could even devour sword shadow. As the beast came out, Luo Qinghe's sword shadow loosened up. Darkness started to enclose the stage. Everyone knew that Luo Qinghe had half lost already. Even Yemo thought Luo Qinghe was going to lose and become food to the mist demon beast. Yemo sighed. He knew that on such stage, unless you surrendered and your opponent was willing to let you leave, there was no way out. Yemo really wanted to save Luo Qinghe, but he knew he didn't have the right to. Just when the blue sword shadow was about to disappear, there was suddenly a terrifying howl. Then, everyone saw that a dark red puppet appeared on the stage. It was extremely agile and easily tore the mist demon beast to pieces. Yemo nodded. This puppet was very high level and had its own consciousness. Luo Qinghe seemed to have good fortune. Luo Qinghe was angered by the mist demon beast. His blue sword shadow became condensed and pierced into Wu Kang's forehead. Wu Kang seemed to be possessed and just stood still there. The blue sword shadow instantly blew Wu Kang's head apart. As soon as Wu Kang's essence spirit escaped, it was annihilated by the puppet. Seeing this, Yemo knew that Luo Qinghe definitely knew a spirit sense cultivation method. No wonder he could ambush. Luo Qinghe took Wu Kang's things and jumped off the stage. Kid, how dare you ask people for help on a god rank challenge? You can leave your life here today. As soon as Luo Qinghe got off the stage, a bleak, murderous voice sounded. At the same time, a powerful red light hacked down. Luo Qinghe barely released his blue sword that blocked the red beam a bit. However, that red beam was much stronger. Luo Qinghe was struck by the red beam and spat mouthfuls of blood in the air. ATM, the red figure landed on the square. His powerful blood-colored killing intent and Tao Essence Divine Emperor Qi circulated around him. On the God rank square, you, a Tao Essence Divine Emperor, attacked me, a Tao actualization, disregarding the rules? Luo Qinghe spoke while spitting blood. You hit a puppet on the stage. That's like 2 against 1 fighting Wukong. You broke the rules first, why can't I attack you? That Tao Essence Divine Emperor said coldly and was about to attack again. There were many human race Divine Emperors, but none of them dared to speak. They knew that if they said anything, they would be killed. Luo Qinghe felt despaired. He wanted to use this opportunity to enter the Tao Fruit Tower and reach Tao Essence. However, this caused Tao Essence Master to kill him. Despite this, there was no way he was going to give up. Is your mouth on your butt or are your eyes on your asshole? Why are your words so full of shit? How come I saw one of them using a mist demon beast and one used a puppet? Just when this Tao Essence Divine Emperor wanted to attack again, a contemptuous voice interrupted him. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2166 Human Race Still Exists. Chapter 2166 Human Race Still Exists. This demon divine immediately stared at Yemo. When he saw that Yemo was a human Tao actualization divine emperor, his murderous force materialized, cracking up the nearby restrictions. Not only him but all the other divine emperors in the square looked at Yemo in shock. They didn't get it. Yemo was a Tao actualization divine emperor and dared to speak like this to a Tao essence divine emperor? This was suicide. Even if Yemo was a human too, such actions weren't appreciated by them. Luo Qinghe also looked at Yemo in confusion. He didn't expect there to be such hot-blooded divine emperor. He knew it was suicide and still dared to curse a Tao essence divine emperor. Pill divine Yi, it's a mere Tao essence, leave it to me. Qiao He saw the opportunity to help Yemo and immediately said. With this, the demon divine immediately calmed down. Qiao He was Tao essence divine emperor peak stage and seemed much stronger than him. Qiao He's blue color also materialized around him. That would only form through constant slaughter. Plus, he knew Qiao He. Qiao He had been in the void marketplace for more than 100 years. He killed God rank 127 Bailey Hong as a Tao essence divine emperor, but no one looked for his trouble. Qiao He, I'm demon race Gong Xiang. You're a Tao essence divine emperor. Are you going to help such rude human Tao actualization? Gong Xiang slightly collected his red qi. The nearby people realized. No wonder this Tao actualization divine emperor dared to speak to Gong Xiang like this. He had a Tao essence divine emperor to back him up. Yemo signaled Qiao He to not talk. He walked up and said, This has nothing to do with the rest of the people. Gong Xiang, you're a Tao essence divine emperor and you're oppressing a Tao actualization divine emperor. Do you have no shame? Yemo didn't want to owe Qiao He yet. If Qiao He helped him and he didn't help concoct pills, he would owe Qiao He a huge favor. Yemo hated owing people favors. Plus, he really didn't consider this demon Tao essence a threat. Hearing this, Gong Xiang rejoiced and spoke before Qiao He could. I'm the representative for the demon race at this spot distribution gathering. Wu Kong and Luo Qinghe were fighting for the god rank, but that's also for a spot entering the Tao Fruit Tower. Of course I have the right to manage this. Who are you? Are you planning to intervene too? Because Qiao He was watching on the side, Gong Xiang didn't dare to be too harsh. He started to speak with reason. If he gained a foothold there and Qiao He still dared to attack, he would immediately ask the Tao Essence Masters of the Square to attack. Meanwhile, he could kill Yemo and Luo Qinghe. Some people have recognized Pill Divine Yi and started discussing on the side. Yemo smiled. You're right. I'm the person representing the human race for this gathering. How come you have the right to intervene but I don't? Do you think your demon race is going to oppress all the races? Do you think you're the strongest? What? You're the one representing the human race? Gong Xiang didn't dare to believe this. Did Yemo desperately want to die? Although there was Qiao He on the side, he couldn't help in this. Only people of their own races could help them. Qiao He clearly wasn't human race. He wouldn't even be able to enter. What, there's someone to represent the human race for this gathering? Human race re-entering the Tao Fruit Tower distribution gathering. Human Tao actualization Pill Divine participating the Tao Fruit Tower distribution. In a short while this news spread out. In the Void Marketplace, all those humans who heard this headed to the God Rank Square. This was the first time they had heard in countless years that there was someone representing the human race. This was definitely a shocking news. Even if they only got one spot, this would mean that human race was speaking up amongst the races. They would no longer be abused and just tolerate it. Luo Qinghe was shaking in excitement. He wanted to reach Tao Essence quickly just so he could represent the human race and participate in this gathering. Although he knew that even if he reached Tao Essence, he wouldn't be able to get a spot at the gathering, he was long sick of humans being oppressed in the Void Marketplace. He might not be able to change the status of the human race, but he would let all the other races know that human race still existed. Gong Xiang immediately realized that Yemo wasn't joking. He was overjoyed upon realization. Okay, since you're representing the human race, then I formally challenge you now. We'll talk on the stage. Gong Xiang breathed out his annoyance. He finally had a proper reason to kill Yemo. Even Qiao He didn't dare to stop him. Yemo was waiting for Gong Xiang to say this. Even if Gong Xiang didn't say this, he would kill this demon Tao Essence Divine Emperor in front of everyone. He killed the demon race Divine Emperor when he was only Tao Nourishment. Now that he was Tao Actualization Peak Stage, how could there be a problem? Just when Yemo was about to fight with Gong Xiang, a voice sounded in everyone's ears. All the Divine Emperors representing their races for this gathering, please enter the square now. The gathering shall begin. A sliver of disappointment flashed across Gong Xiang's eyes, but then he smiled to Yemo. Very well, you can live a little longer. I will still come after you on this gathering. Leave behind your last wishes unless you cower on the side and not even take one spot. Then Gong Xiang flew towards the largest building on the left of the square. Xiao He saluted with his fists to Yemo. Pil Divine Yi, I will wait for you at the door. Yemo glanced at Xiao He strangely. You're not worried that I can't come out? Xiao He immediately said. No, Pil Divine Yi's power is probably on par with mine. He had fought with Yemo before. He already had an estimate for Yemo's power. He was certain that if Yemo fought with Gong Xiang wouldn't be able to take out Yemo for sure. Okay, then wait for me. Yemo said and waddled towards that door. He would come find Luo Qinghe later. Luo Qinghe sped up to Yemo and said, Thank you for helping Pil Divine Yi, or I might have died already. Hearing people call Yemo Pil Divine Yi at the square, he called Yemo Pil Divine Yi too. Yemo smiled. Wait for me on the square. After the gathering I'll come talk to you. I have some things to ask you. Luo Qinghe quickly said, Pil Divine Yi, each race can bring 2 members of their race to the gathering. If Pil Divine Yi is alone, I'm willing to go with Pil Divine Yi. Yemo was very happy with Luo Qinghe's words. Clearly, he wasn't scared of dying. Okay, then come with me. Yemo immediately agreed. Brother Yi, I'm willing to come too. Another female voice sounded. Wang Nanshuang had come up to them. There was Ji Shi and 2 other women behind her. Wang Nanshuang was from the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect, but in Yemo's impression, she was a good person. However, there was no need for her to join the gathering. Even though she was Tao Actualization Divine Emperor, her power was far weaker than Luo Qinghe. No need. Yemo was blunt. Wang Nanshuang was desperate, and quickly said, Brother Yi, now's not the time for personal conflicts. I know Brother Yi has bad views of the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect, but if there's the chance to contribute to the human race, the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect will not fall behind. Since I said that I will be joining this gathering, then I won't retreat no matter how hard it is. At most, it's just death. Plus, other races have 3 people going. If we only have 2, it won't seem good. Yemo thought for a moment and said, You're right, then let's go together. Brother Yi, I'll go with you too. Dongan came over too. Yemo smiled. Each race is only allowed to have 3 in total going. We already have 3 now. Just wait outside for our good news. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2167 That's Because I Haven't Come Ye. Chapter 2167 That's Because I Haven't Come Ye. When Yemo brought Luo Qinghe and Wang Nanshuang into the palace, there were already nearly 100 people sitting inside. The seats were clearly divided into groups of 3, clearly representing a power or race. The seats were also placed that one was slightly in front and 2 slightly behind. Yemo studied this palace. This place was very spacious. One couldn't even see the top of the palace. Yemo knew this was due to formation. There was also a nearly 60 m in diameter stand at the center of the palace. The restrictions around it was no weaker than the restrictions on the God Rank Square stage. Yemo knew this was also another battle stage. This stage was probably for battle when 2 parties disagreed between distribution. There was a dark red aura around the border of the stage. Countless divine emperors have died here. Come sit here, Pil Divine Yi. Xinghong saw Yemo and quickly greeted. Brother Xing, you're here too? Yemo said. Xinghong came back. He wasn't sitting on the main seat. The Divine Emperor sitting on the main seat had much stronger qi than Xinghong. Xinghong smiled. Of course, I'm representing the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. We have the right to compete for spots. Human race is participating too this time? People were immediately shocked upon seeing Yemo and them come in. 3 Dao Actualization Divine Emperors coming to this Dao Fruit Distribution gathering? What is this? Are they here to prove they have courage? Discussions went on non-stop, but no one came looking for their trouble, probably because seeing Yemo greet Xinghong. Luo Qinghe didn't know that Yemo knew Xinghong. He admired Yemo even more. Who haven't heard of Xinghong's name in the Void Marketplace? The 3 didn't sit for long, and tens more people came into the palace. In total, there was about 130 people in the palace. This meant that there was nearly 50 powers or races here. The last to enter was a gray-robed Divine Emperor. He looked ordinary, and his qi was much weaker than the rest of the Divine Emperors here, but Yemo could tell this person was a halfway primordial essence, a very powerful halfway primordial essence. He walked to the top seat of the palace and saluted with his fist, saying, "Welcome, immortal friends of all the realms and races, to the Void Marketplace Spot Distribution Gathering. Many Divine Emperors here know me, and of course there are some new Divine Emperors who haven't heard of me. I'll introduce myself. I'm from the Void Marketplace. My divine name is Kong Han. This time, Tianrui Divine Emperor, and I will be impartially conducting this distribution." When Kong Han finished, an ordinary-looking old man suddenly appeared next to him. He looked even weaker than Kong Han Divine Emperor. But some Divine Emperors realized that this ordinary old man was even stronger than Kong Han. Yemo knew this was another halfway primordial essence. This old man said, "I'm Tianrui. Now let the gathering begin." Tianrui then shut his eyes as though everything else had nothing to do with him. Kong Han Divine Emperor smiled. "What's worth mentioning is that this time, there's the human race and shadow race." Kong Han continued, "Because many of the God-ranked Divine Emperors couldn't come back to the Void Marketplace in time, and some races not coming, there's an extra 193 spots on the Dao Fruit Tower." Yemo heard this and was shocked. He didn't expect there would be this many Dao Fruit Tower spots. There's 46 seats to be distributed. According to the old rules, these spots will be shared evenly. Does anyone object? Kong Han said and looked at the people. Kong Han meant seats that were at the front. This meant that there was 46 races of powers to be represented. "We're fine," the representatives of different races said. Yemo was dazed. Was the gathering this simple? All the spots were shared evenly and no one objected? Plus, there were 46 powers, the 193 spots can't be divided evenly. Why did no one say anything? After waiting for a while and no one said anything, Yemo said something. "Kong Han Divine Emperor Master, I object." Yemo got up and saluted with his fists. Almost everyone looked at Yemo. Object to what now? Why would you object to Kong Han Divine Emperor? Fool! That demon Dao essence sneered at Yemo. Kong Han Divine Emperor was very shocked that a Dao Actualization Divine Emperor dared to object in this. He looked at Yemo with interest. "You're the representative for the human race, right? What objections do you have?" Yemo said loudly. "This is my first time coming to the gathering, so I want to ask, does the 193 spots include the 30 spots the human race deserves?" Kong Han said. "Yes. The human race didn't come to this gathering multiple times, so these 30 spots were considered extra ones." Kong Han Divine Emperor Master, would the spots of other races be considered extra? If other races don't share their spots evenly but just the human race has to, then how is this fair? Yemo said. Kong Han Divine Emperor dazed. There were human representatives before, but they didn't make the same request as Yemo, and didn't dare to bring up the human race had 30. Yet, this Dao Actualization Divine Emperor dared to make such request. Ha! Yemo's words made the palace erupt into laughter. Even Xinghong looked down. Luo Qinghe and Wang Nanchuang were dazed. They came here with EMOs so the human race wouldn't keep declining. They were ready to die, but they weren't ready for EMO making such terrifying claims. They just wanted to get 1 or 2 spots and then leave. Yet EMO asked for the 30 spots the human race had before. Kong Han Divine Emperor didn't laugh and pressed with his hand for the laughter to stop. Then he looked at EMO and said, "But there were past representatives who didn't make this claim. After all, it's been too long since the human race quit the gathering." Kong Han Divine Emperor sighed. He liked Yemo's courage, so he wanted to tell Yemo inadvertently that even if he took all 193 spots now and people agreed, it was useless, as this was only the first step to the distribution. The second and third was the most important. No one cared how many spots people got at the first step. That's because I didn't come. If I came, I would have long made such request. Yemo said. Human representative wants to take back the 30 spots that belong to them. Does anyone object? Kong Han heard this and just asked everyone. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2168 Spot Distribution. Chapter 2168 Spot Distribution. Gong Xiang immediately got up and said, "We have no objections, of course. The 30 spots of the human race belongs to them. Of course, since the human race hasn't been to the gathering for so long, their 30 spots can only be treated as extra spots to be given to them. The next time, it can be considered their permanent spots." Gong Xiang's words were completely reasonable, and it seemed he was even thinking for the human race. Yemo completely understood what was going on. Giving the spots to him as extra spots meant that it could be robbed through challenges. Permanent spots were permanent. People didn't have a right to challenge and take it. The more extra spots he took here, the more challenges he would have to accept. That meant the more chances he would get killed. Kong Han Divine Emperor looked at everyone. What does everyone think of Immortal Friends Gong's suggestion? All the races approved immediately. Kong Han Divine Emperor looked at Yemo with a strange glance. Now that everyone agreed to let you take back the 30 spots, do you have any other requests? Hearing this, Yemo could tell this Kong Han was completely neutral and saluted with his fists. Thank you, Kong Han Divine Emperor. I'll only take back what's mine. Okay, then in that case, there's 163 spots remaining for even distribution. Everyone will get 3 spots, but the 4th round isn't enough for everyone. Wherever the distribution stops, that's it. This meant that those sitting at the front could get 4 spots and those sitting at the back could only get 3. People already knew this rule here. Those who didn't want too many spots sat at the back. Pil Divine Yi, I don't think it's good that we asked for 30 spots, Luo Qinghe said quietly. Yemo didn't mind. We need to take back what belongs to us. What doesn't belong to us, we don't need to fight for it. Kong Han Divine Emperor acted like Tian Rui Divine Emperor and said nothing after the first round finished. It was as though the two just came to watch the show. Yemo was sitting at the front, so the human race got 34 spots altogether. Then he saw the numbers floating above each race represented that the spots for the Dao Fruit Tower they got. The God race is willing to give 2 spots to the Abyssal race and 1 to the Aquarius race. A blue-faced Divine Emperor immediately got up. Abyssal race accepts. A bleak Divine Emperor got up and said. Yemo noticed this guy before, as he was the representative for the Abyssal race. Yemo planned to talk to him after the gathering. Then, the number above them changed to 6 from 4. Aquarius race agrees. An Aquarius race Divine Emperor got up and the number from the God race disappeared. So this is transfer of spots, Wang Nanchuang said. This way, weak races could give spots to powerful races. Earth Elf race is willing to give spot to Dragon race accepts. Blood race is willing to transfer spot to Demon race. Some were transferring spots, some were accepting spots. Yemo and them stayed silent. If they weren't afraid that their permanent spots would be taken, many races definitely wouldn't come here. dragon race, phoenix race. They were so powerful that they left the monster race and became their own race. Even here, they had their own spots. Emo didn't get up. He didn't plan to give his spots away nor ask for spots. This round soon ended. Emo noticed that it was powerful races accepting spots, for example, the beast race, demon race, abyssal race, dragon race, Aquarius race. The ones giving spots were weaker ones such as bug race, earth df race, shadow race. There are small portions of races who didn't give nor accept races. Powerful races like the demon race had accepted more than 20 spots. Even abyssal race and Aquarius race got more than 10. Then everyone set their gazes on Emo. The 34 spots was a huge piece of meat. To everyone, it was just temporarily placed with Emo. Now, it was time to split it. Demon Race Tao Essence Divine Emperor Gong Xiang immediately stood out and landed on the round stage. He saluted with his fists to Kong Han and Tian Rui before staying at Emo. The demon race will take 5 of the human race spots. If the human race don't agree, then Gong Xiang will represent the demon race to challenge human race Divine Emperor. Pill Divine Yi, I'll go. Luo Qinghe knew it was suicide, but it was worse than death for him to be timid. Plus, Emo offended Gong Xiang due to him, and that's why Gong Xiang challenged first. Emo patted Luo Qinghe's shoulder, signaling him not to do. Then, Xinghong's voice sounded by his ear. Pill Divine Yi, give the spot to him, and he has no reason to challenge. Emo nodded to Xinghong in gratitude and walked up to the stage and saluted with his fist to the 2 half-primordial essence divine emperors. The human race shall take 5 of the demon race's spots. If the demon race don't agree, then I, Emo, shall represent the human race to challenge demon race divine emperor. The gathering had been very serious ever since the 2 half-primordial essences came out, but now due to Emo's words, it became noisy. Just what balls did this human Tao actualization divine emperor eat? Was he worried that he wouldn't die a pitiful enough death? Why did he try to infuriate the demon Tao essence like this? Even Tian Rui suddenly opened his eyes and looked at Emo. He didn't understand. Courage was necessary, but it wasn't worth to die for it like this. This was being stupid. Kong Han Divine Emperor's eyes flashed with surprise. Then he said calmly, "Okay, now, the demon race divine emperor Gong Xiang will battle human race divine emperor Emo. The losing side will give out 5 spots." As soon as he said this, the restrictions of the stage had been opened. Gong Xiang's blood qi filled the entire stage, mixing with his Tao essence divine emperor. It was as though this stage would become his own realm. He was certain that Emo would barely be able to move, much less fight him. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2169 Power of Zisu. Chapter 2169 Power of Zisu. Even so, he didn't want Emo to die easily. He released his magic artifact Demon Blood Blade. A blood mark that crossed space came above Emo's head. He was going to destroy Emo's body as quickly as possible, and then capture his essence spirit and torture him slowly. How dare a Tao actualization divine emperor be this cocky to him? Emo felt this blood realm and knew that Gong Xiang was weaker than the demon Tao essence divine emperor he killed before. He didn't need Zisu to kill him. But Emo didn't plan to not use Zisu. Hiding his strength here wasn't good. He was going to kill Gong Xiang with lightning speed and shock everyone. Otherwise, he might face endless challenges today. He didn't fear these challenges, but every time he killed someone, he would offend that power. Emo didn't want to offend too many. Emo's domain suddenly burst out. His domain was beginning to form a realm too. It made Gong Xiang's realm crumble rapidly. Emo even stacked on top his powerful spirit sense realm. Gong Xiang's blood realm was instantly pulverized. The blood qi circulated around him blew out like feathers. The next moment, Gong Xiang felt the space between him and Emo freeze. The instant he felt this, he knew that he had underestimated Yemo. This was ice space god art. It can only be used with certain level of space law and ice law knowledge. Gong Xiang's knowledge of space law was inadequate, and his space law god art couldn't even materialize. The demon blood blade immediately stopped. Yemo wasn't affected at all by his blood realm, and the moment space froze, a purple sword ray was hacked out. Gong Xiang broke free from ice space instantly, and just when he wanted to seal this purple sword ray, he found that this sword ray carried a vast and extreme lethal force pressure that drew away all the surrounding lethal force. This wasn't just sword domain lethal force but also world lethal force. Yemo didn't even use a god art on this strike. It was just an ordinary swing with the broken ice space god art. Ice space was broken, but it still affected Gong Xiang. However, what killed Gong Xiang wasn't ice space but this sword. Primordial spirit artifact. Gong Xiang looked at the purple sword ray slice over his body in despair and called out. Such dominating primordial lethal force, what else could it be other than the best primordial spirit artifact? The insect in his eyes instantly killed him in a duel with him. As soon as Gong Xiang's essence spirit came out, it was grinded by Yemo's purple sword ray and disappeared. The blood she disappeared and a demon blood blade fell on the ground. Zissou returned to its ordinary look and was put into storage ring by Yemo. Yemo waved up the demon blood blade and a storage ring and walked off the stage. He was quite shocked and happy. He knew his powers had increased a few levels, but only now did he realize to what extent. Zissou was an important factor, but Yemo was certain that without Zissou, he could still kill Gong Xiang. When Yemo killed Gong Xiang and walked out of the stage, the entire palace was silent. Then, the palace erupted in noises. Everyone looked at Yemo with different eyes. Even the two halfway primordial essence looked at Yemo strangely. It was simple for them to kill a Tao Essence Divine Emperor, but a Tao Actualization Divine Emperor killing a Tao Essence Divine Emperor this easily was too astounding. There were Tao Actualization Divine Emperors who killed Tao Essence Divine Emperor in the Void Marketplace, but it was too rare. They were absurdly talented, and even that they would need to have an intense battle to kill a Tao Essence Divine Emperor. But what was Yemo? He was a Tao Actualization Primary Stage, and he could kill a Tao Essence Divine Emperor this easily. This was too scary. This battle is won by human race. Yemo demon race give 5 spots to the human race. When Yemo went back to his seat, Kong Han finally announced the results. Luo Qinghe and Wang Nanchuang also waited till Yemo came back to his seat before getting up in surprise and joy. Pill Divine Yi, you actually won, and this easily too? Luo Qinghe still didn't believe this was real. Wang Nanchuang knew how absurd Yemo was. He could kill Tao Actualization Divine Emperor when he was only Tao Molding Divine Emperor. Now that he was Tao Actualization Divine Emperor, it wasn't impossible for him to kill Tao Essence Divine Emperor. The only thing she didn't expect was it to be this easy. But to them, the stronger Yemo was the better. The other two Demon Tao Essence Divine Emperors still didn't believe their Tao Essence Demon Divine would be killed by a human Tao Actualization, especially instant killed. Gong Xiang represented the demon race, but he wasn't the leader. The Tao Essence Demon Divine sitting next to him got up and stared at Yemo with killing intent. Just when he wanted to speak, he was pushed down by the Demon Divine sitting in front. You're no match for him. His ordinary purple sword is probably a primordial spirit artifact. I'll see the attitude of other races. If no one attacks, I will. The Demon Divine calmed down. He knew he was no match for Yemo, but he couldn't just take it that a demon Tao essence was killed by a human Tao actualization. When Yemo sat down, the number above his head went from 34 to 39. Many people recognized that Yemo's Zissou was a primordial spirit artifact. There was limited numbers of primordial spirit artifact in the universe. People knew almost 99% of them, but they had never seen Yemo's purple sword. When many people were watching Yemo, a powerful spirit sense scanned at Yemo too. This spirit sense seemed to want to ambush Yemo's sea of consciousness. Yemo immediately used Spirit Sense 9 transformations and released a Spirit Sense net, grinding this Spirit Sense to nothing. However, Yemo couldn't find the owner of the Spirit Sense. The serious silence didn't last for long when a Tao essence drenched in water came up and screeched. Aquarius race Sun Tai will take one spot of the winged race. If you don't agree, then come up. Yemo looked at the three from the winged race. They were all Tao Essence Divine Emperor, but Yemo could tell none of them could beat Sun Tai. It also seemed that they were more adept at fighting in spacious areas, not small confinements. The winged race got up and said, "Winged race don't want to fight, take this spot." Winged race now already gave out 3 spots, but now, their last spot was taken. Aquarius race was probably annoyed that they didn't get one of the 3 spots. There were other divine emperors challenging each other, but no one challenged Yemo. Yemo didn't plan to challenge anyone else. Abyssal race want 5 human race spots. If the human race don't agree, come up and challenge me, Zhongli Huang. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2170 I Admit Defeat. Chapter 2170 I Admit Defeat. People immediately looked over when someone challenged human race Yemo again. Although they knew people would eventually challenge human race, they didn't expect it was abyssal race. Yemo frowned. He had things to discuss with them, but they wanted his spots. This wasn't the Tao Essence Divine Emperor he was watching, but they would be sure to have conflict. Yemo didn't want conflict with the abyssal race, but he had no choice. He got up without hesitation. "Don't even dream about taking the human race spots. As for your challenge, I accept." Seeing Yemo not ask for abyssal race spots and just accepted the challenge, people on the side were confused. When demon race challenged Yemo, Yemo chose to challenge them too and took 5 spots from them. Now that Yemo didn't challenge them back, it was really strange. Was it that this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor knew abyssal race was the strongest and didn't dare to anger them too much? Zhongli Huang was Tao Essence Peak Stage Power. He was from the abyssal race, but he didn't look like one at all. He carried cold chi, but his body was very material. His face was ruddy. He seemed more like a human. When the stage restrictions were activated, he didn't attack immediately and instead looked at Yemo and asked, "Is the purple sword you took out before a primordial spirit artifact?" Yemo's face sunk. He wanted to connect with the abyssal race, but this didn't mean they could sit on his head. Zhongli, who clearly wanted his Zisu and thus came to challenge him. This guy was probably scared of Zisu being taken away, but also didn't want to rob something that wasn't a primordial spirit artifact and cause misunderstanding. "I can answer the question, but you need to answer my question too," Yemo said emotionlessly. Zhongli, who frowned and said in contempt, "What thing do you think you are? You dare to ask me a question? Hurry up and answer. Just because you have a spirit sense cultivation method for sneak attacks, doesn't mean you're strong." This arrogant guy that he used spirit sense cultivation method to kill Gong Xiang. Realizing this, Yemo knew Zhongli, who was the one who ambushed him with spirit sense. No wonder he was so bold to come challenge him. Yemo couldn't even be bothered talking. He released Zisu and extended his primary form of realm. When Yemo didn't ask for abyssal race spots, Zhongli, who knew that Yemo was concerned with him, or the abyssal race. He didn't expect the Tao Actualization Divine Emperor, who was scared of his race, dare to attack first. Zhongli, who extended his powerful realm domain. Most of the people at Tao Essence already had somewhat of a realm domain. Meanwhile, Primordial Essence Divine Emperor's realm domain was pretty much formed and almost about to become a realm. Zhongli, who attacked with full power, not holding back. He was going to crush Yemo with his domain, and let him know that spirit sense cultivation method couldn't ambush everyone. Their realm domains clashed together. Powerful space ripples spread. Yemo's realm domain was completely fine, but Zhongli, whose realm domain had cracks. In just that clash, Zhongli, who was shook. He felt he was too impulsive. Yimo's power definitely wasn't just spirit sense ambush. Yimo's domain had the primary form of a realm domain. Although Yimo's realm domain looked weaker than his, it was much more durable. Purple sword ray fell. A huge white drum suddenly appeared above Zhongli, whose head. Zisu's powerful and vast lethal force was opened a little crack by the drum. Zhongli Hu instantly fled from the crack. The purple sword ray struck the drum, and the drum made an ear-piercing cracking sound before turning into hundreds of white beams and disappearing from the stage. On the other side, Zhongli Hu looked dazedly at his magic artifact that crumbled in one clash and was speechless. This person definitely wasn't Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. That was Zhongli Hu's conclusion. Since they were already fighting, Yimo didn't intend to stop. His released Zisu again, and this time it was Sword God Art, Falling Mark Sword Rune. Yimo had never felt as satisfied as today fighting people with Zisu. Zisu's powerful primordial lethal force completely suppressed the magic artifact of the opponent. It was no longer the situation where his magic artifact was always weaker. A purple sword ray that almost twisted the entire stage smashed down. The Divine Emperors outside couldn't scan this sword rune with their spirit sense, but the powerful lethal force and tearing chi was visible to the eye. This was no sword rune, this was destructive lethal force. Even Yimo was shocked. He even felt that he couldn't control this sword rune. This sword rune was about to hack open the restriction on the stage and tear open this world. A shock lightning appeared in Yimo's sea of consciousness. Yimo immediately became vigilant. His spirit sense immediately swept the falling mark sword rune, making it pause for a bit. Zisu had been spirit controlled by him, but Yimo still felt that the sword rune was spreading. This made his body go soft. One moment later, his sea of consciousness was shook and injured. His god essence was greatly depleted. Despite this, he felt that Zisu come back under his control. Yimo subconsciously breathed easy. He was shocked at just what the material that upgraded Zisu was. This material formed Murder Dao's spear, and Murder Dao's spear killed countless owners. Now that he upgraded Zisu with it, it still had this terrifying destructive force. If it was some ordinary divine emperor and Zisu went out of control, no one could be sure if Zisu would become a second Murder Dao spear. Yimo wasn't worried Zisu would become a second Murder Dao spear, as he upgraded Zisu very early on and had only used it. The reason that situation occurred was that Zisu was too strong and he was too weak. He should be more careful when he used Zisu and not fully activate it. When he reached Dao Essence, he could fully activate it with completely control. Zhongli, whose realm domain was instantly broken under that powerful twisting rune. The rune covered the entire void inside the stage. Even the restrictions and space were cracking. When this twisted purple sword rune appeared before Zhongli Hu couldn't even break free from its void lethal force. He could only watch as Zisu hacked towards his forehead. At this moment, Zhongli Hu finally felt Gong Xiang's feeling. This wasn't spirit sense ambush, this was powerful suppression. Primordial spirit artifact plus sword Dao God art. This twisted sword rune reminded him of the ancient and ferocious great primordial god rune. If he could regret, he would never challenge Yimo. But now, he felt that twisted rune pause. This pause was less than 1/10 of a second, but it was enough for him. Zhongli Hu shook and he disappeared. That twisted sword rune struck where Zhongli Hu was, but Zhongli Hu broke free using space transition god art. This falling mark sword rune didn't kill Zhongli Hu, but it scared the soul out of him. The sword rune was stopped by Yimo midway but still shook the restrictions heavily. It was as though if Yimo attacked like that again, the restriction would crumble. On one corner Zhongli Hu looked dazedly at Yimo. When Yimo turned around, he then remembered he was still in a battle. He released a green spear, but he didn't attack again. When he saw Yimo was going to attack again, he finally couldn't hold it. Immortal friends, wait, I surrender. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Yemo knew that after the two battles, people were scared, but despite this, he saw Aquarius race and Beast race divine emperors staring at him, eager to try. Even a blood race Tao Essence divine emperor stared over. Yemo got up and said, "The human race won't rob the spots of other races, but I'll make it clear, if any race thinks we're easy to abuse and wants to rob our spots, then I will take away all of his spots." Yemo's words were pretty much threats, and immediately made some people unhappy. No Tao Essence divine emperor here was weak. They were powerful beings that crossed many realms. Many of them were on the divine rank. They were many times stronger than ordinary divine emperors. Hearing this, the leading Tao Essence demon divine rejoiced. Yemo was asking to die. This was starting public outrage. He said in contempt, "So dominant. This is a gathering for the distribution for extra spots. Do you think all the spots of other races can be taken like yours? Even if you win, you would at most get their extra spots." Yemo knew that his words would cause public annoyance, but since he was going to assert dominance, he couldn't care about this. The blood race thought of the demon race as their leader. When Yemo killed the demon Tao Essence, they were already planning to challenge Yemo. With demon race speaking up, a blood race Tao Essence divine emperor got up and walked forward. Yemo saw this and really just didn't get it. What confidence did this Tao Essence divine emperor have to challenge him? Was it just because he let Zhongli Huang go? Yemo just saluted with his fists to the two half-primordial essences and said, "May I ask if the three representing divine emperors of a race are all killed, what would happen to their permanent spots? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters." Chapter 2172 Dust Settles. Chapter 2172 Dust Settles. Kong Han knew what Yemo was thinking of course, and said plainly, "If all three representatives of a race die, then their permanent spots will be dealt with as extra spots." Hearing this, Yemo realized that the human race's permanent spots were made extra like this. But Kong Han Divine Emperor said, "If the race has no extra spots and only has permanent spots, then they're not allowed to be challenged. Unless they challenge you first, there's no way you can challenge them. Thank you for enlightening me, Kong Han Divine Emperor Master. I understand." Yemo saluted with his fist, cursed the idiot who represented the human race. He definitely challenged someone, and thus lost all the spots. At this moment, Xing Hang's voice sounded. "Pill Divine Yi, be careful, that blood race Tao Essence Divine Emperor is on the divine rank. Be careful." Yemo stared at the Tao Essence blood race and finally realized why he was confident to challenge him. The blood race Tao Essence was ready to challenge Yemo, but hearing what Yemo said, he stopped. He was on the divine rank indeed, but he was ranked at the back. Seeing Yemo's two previous battles, he had no confidence in beating Yemo. He challenged Yemo to suck up to the demon race. Even if he was defeated, he could give something good to ask Yemo to let him live like Zhongli Huang. He felt that even if he was weaker than Yemo, his forbidden arts would make Yemo concerned. That's why he planned to come up. Now that Yemo said he would annihilate all three divine emperors of the blood race and kick them out of the Tao Fruit Tower, he was concerned. Even if he felt he was stronger than Yemo, he couldn't afford to gamble. If the blood race lost their Tao Fruit Tower rights, then they would decline and maybe even become extinct. Many divine emperors of his race existed due to the Tao Fruit from the Tao Fruit Tower. He didn't dare to make such risk. That's how the human race fell into decline. The human race was huge and had many talents. Even after being in decline for countless years, an insane prodigy like Yemo rose. The blood race didn't have that confidence. If they declined, then they would truly decline and maybe disappear from the universe. Seeing this blood race Tao Essence sit down, the demon Tao Essence's eyes were filled with disappointment. He wanted to see Yemo kill the blood race Tao Essence, and then draw more hate to the human race. Even if human race got more spots, he would still join up with other races to kill Yemo after the tower opened. At Yemo's level, ordinary Tao Essence Divine Emperor had no threats to him. Those who could threaten him were only half primordial essence, or primordial essence divine emperor. Even demon race couldn't casually call over a primordial essence divine emperor to the void marketplace to kill Emo. No one scorned the blood race Tao essence for backing out. He did seem weaker than Emo. If they dared to challenge Emo would really kill all three representatives. With a dominant divine emperor like Emo here, the challenges afterwards became much more tame. The abyssal race wasn't going to challenge Emo, of course. The beast and dragon race had enough spots and didn't need to offend Emo for a few more spots. The only Tao Essence Divine Emperor who still wanted to challenge Emo was the Aquarius race one, but for some reason he resisted the urge in the end. The one who wanted to challenge Emo the most was the demon race, but they didn't have the power, and thus didn't dare to. This Tao fruit distribution gathering ended like this. Emo just fought twice and got 44 spots. Everyone who was involved exclaimed. Everyone thought Emo was suicidal when he came in, but now, he got 44 spots instead. This wasn't just a matter of 44 spots. In the future gatherings, as long as human race came, then they would be able to keep at least 30 spots even if Emo didn't come. Now, it only seemed a matter of time before the fallen human race will rise back up again. Kong Han Divine Emperor got up and said, "The gathering has now concluded. All the races are very happy. 3 months later, I hope everyone has a bountiful harvest in the Tao Fruit Tower." People knew that at least the demon race wasn't happy. The 2 Tao Essence demons walked out of the palace first. Then the other divine emperors followed. Because of Emo's dominance, and some people knowing that Emo was a Tao actualization pill divine, many divine emperors came to greet Emo. When they saw a powerful Tao Essence divine emperor waiting for Emo at the door, they knew that Emo's power was far from what he showed. They became even more polite. Xinghong greeted Emo at the door and then left with the 2 other Tao Essence from Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. He rejoiced even more of his decisions. He didn't use force on Emo. When Emo and them came out, the humans at the square all came up. They rejoiced seeing that Emo and them were fine. "Brother Yi, I knew it was you, haha," Xian Yu Shue's voice sounded. Gu Bing and Xian Zhue also squeezed over. "When Tang Xiaoyu said Brother Yi was in danger, I didn't believe it." "See, I'm right," Xian Yushua said. Those who knew Luo Qinghe surrounded him, and people from the divine Tao realm surrounded Wang Nanshuang. The great Sun God Mountain Tao Essence Divine Emperor didn't dare to come up. A powerful Tao Essence Divine Emperor followed Emo, and Emo was close to that Xinghong. He didn't dare to talk in front of Emo. Luo Qinghe's tone was very excited. He rambled non-stop about how Emo killed Demon Tao Essence Divine Emperor and defeated Abyssal Race Tao Essence Divine Emperor, forcing the Blood Race to back down, and robbed 10 spots. It was already extremely shocking that Emo defeated Tao Essence Divine Emperor, but compared to 10 Tao Fruit Tower spots, it wasn't important. Almost all the Divine Emperors who could go in the Tao Fruit Tower looked at Emo and Luo Qinghe, wanting to know how the spots would be distributed. Would they need to buy it or what? When the great Sun God Mountain Tao Essence heard Emo kill Gong Xiang, his heart beat extremely fast. Emo was this absurd, he even killed Tao Essence Divine Emperor. The Tao Essence Divine Emperors entering the gathering was definitely no ordinary Tao Essence Divine Emperor. They were definitely much stronger than him. Didn't this mean that Emo could kill him like a chicken? The great Sun God Mountain Tao Essence Divine Emperor immediately began to worry. But then he thought of Dongan. Dongan was close to Emo. Perhaps Dongan could beg for mercy. He saw Dongan talk to Emo now, but he could only stay there nervously. Emo spoke with Dongan for a bit, and said, "Human race immortal friends, this time our human race went to the Tao Fruit Tower spot distribution gathering and we got a total of 44 spots. Hearing this, the crowd erupted. Almost everyone didn't dare to believe this. They thought 10 spots was shocking enough, but Emo actually got 44 spots. This was similar to those few top races. Emo waited till everyone was quiet before saying, "Immortal friends, I will be distributing the 44 spots like this. I will be selling 14 of them privately. As for the remaining 30, Wan Nanshuang and Luo Qinghe came to the gathering so they can have one each. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2173 Ju Wuheng. Chapter 2173 Ju Wuheng. Wang Nanshuang and Luo Qinghe thought that they just went to sit for a while and didn't do anything, but they didn't say it out. Wan Nanshuang knew she did nothing, but she didn't want to give it out. The spot was too important for the immortal goddess sacred sect. Luo Qinghe said, "Pill Divine Yi, I'm on the god rank. I have the right to go in. I'll give this spot to Martial Sister Nanshuang." Yemo just realized that Luo Qinghe didn't need the spot. Luo Qinghe saw that he seemingly knew Yemo, so he gave it to her. Hearing this, Wang Nanshuang quickly bowed to Luo Qinghe and said, "Thank you, Martial Brother Luo, I'll take it." Wang Nanshuang felt her face was burning. Luo Qinghe gave it to her, but she didn't even have the courtesy to reject it once. She didn't even ask for Yemo's opinion and just took it. But she knew that for the immortal goddess sacred sect to get back again, her face had to be thick. Yemo looked at the hopeful Dongan and said, "Dongan, your halfway Tao essence, you have a spot too." Dongan came up and thanked. "Thank you, Brother Yi, Dongan won't disappoint you." His relations wasn't that close with Yemo, but he was experienced in dealing with people. He didn't abuse Yemo arrogantly and helped Yemo wherever he could. Yet, such little help gave him such huge reward. When he said he wouldn't disappoint Yemo, it meant that he would give Yemo a few Tao fruits if he found good ones. Yemo knew what Dongan meant and didn't reject it. Looking at other people's hopeful looks, Yemo said again, "There are still spots and everyone has a chance to get it. However, I suggest those below Tao actualization to not fight for it. After all, the Tao Fruit Tower isn't safe." "May I ask, Pill Divine Yi, how you're going to distribute the remaining 27 spots?" someone asked desperately. "There's nearly 3 months before the Tao Fruit Tower opens. During this 3 months, I hope immortal friends Qinghe will take lead and choose 27 people. But there are some things I need to say now. Even the 27 chosen ones won't be getting the spots without conditions. I will discuss the conditions before the Tao Fruit Tower opens." Yemo's words got everyone's approval. Although there were 27 spots, but it wasn't enough for this many people. Luo Qinghe rarely came to the Void Marketplace, but everyone knew him from the god rank. He was trustworthy, so it was best that he managed this. Yemo came to the Immortal Rest Tower. He didn't know if Zhongli Huan would come find him. If he didn't, then Yemo would go find him. Yemo immediately took out Gong Xiang's storage ring. A Tao Essence Divine Emperor's storage ring should be wealthier than his. It didn't disappoint Yemo inside. Yemo found an extreme grade God Spirit range and nearly 1 billion God crystals, as well as a large pile of God Spirit herb and materials. As for Gong Xiang's magic artifact, it was the most worthless to Yemo. As soon as Yemo organized the things, Xinghong came over. "Pill Divine Yi, I heard you're selling 14 spots to the Tao Fruit Tower?" Xinghong was close to Yemo and immediately asked. "That's right, I was planning to ask Brother Xing for help and yet you came." Yemo smiled. Xinghong immediately said, "Pill Divine Yi, I have an idea. I'll invite over some wealthy merchant associations and sections. Then you can publicly sell these 14 spots. That way, you would gain the most benefit." Yemo knew this was a good idea. Clearly, it would make him wealthy quickly. Of course, there was high risks for this. That was, everyone would know there was a human called Yemo who reaped in huge profits. But Yemo didn't care about this. How can there be reward with no risk? "Okay, I'll leave that to Brother Xing." Yemo agreed without hesitation. Xinghong hesitated and said, "Pill Divine Yi, this is definitely a good method, but then only drawback is that it would put Pill Divine Yi on the spotlight and bring you great risk." Yemo laughed. "Wanting rewards and being scared isn't my style. Brother Xing, just go do it. Leave life and death to me." Xinghong nodded. With Pill Divine Yi's power, No one in the void marketplace dares to seek your trouble. If it was before, Yemo definitely wouldn't dare to do this. If he did that, he would have to wait and die. He wouldn't even be able to leave the void marketplace, but with his current power, he could afford to do it. Xinghong could remind him this meant that he was a rather good friend. After Yemo exchanged communication beads with Xinghong, he said, "I'm free these few days, whatever pills Brother Xing needs, just send me the materials." Xinghong didn't act polite this time and took out a storage ring to Yemo. "I have a few cauldrons of pills for you, Pill Divine Yi." Feeling that Xinghong was being genuine, Yemo sent Xinghong to the door personally this time. This was a signal. Yemo was famous in the void marketplace now, and by sending Xinghong out, it meant that the human race was forming an alliance with the void marketplace merchant tower. Yemo was such a huge potential and powerful Pill Divine. Of course Xinghong wouldn't reject this. "Pill Divine Yi." As soon as Yemo was planning to go back, he heard an uncertain voice. Yemo turned around and saw an ordinary-looking young man. He was down nourishment peak stage. His skin was white and eyes a bit sunken. The chi of void and different realms stayed on him. Clearly, he roamed around a lot. "You're looking for me?" This person was also a human. "Yes, Pill Divine Yi. Wanbei is Zhu Wuheng. I came a bit late to the void marketplace and didn't get to see Pill Divine Ye's dominant look representing the human race. I came to visit this time." Zhu Wuheng's tone was genuine. Yemo smiled. "It's not easy for you to reach down nourishment peak stage. When the Dao Fruit Tower opens, you can go have a look too." Zhu Wuheng quickly said, "Pill Divine Yi, Wanbei came for the Dao Fruit Tower, but I haven't reached Dao actualization yet." Qinghe QB said, "Wanbei can't go in yet, but Wanbei believes I'm no weaker than any Dao actualization Divine Emperor. It's not that I can't reach Dao actualization, but I don't want to yet." Yemo didn't doubt the first half, but he was shocked at the second half. Even he can't reach Dao actualization whenever he wanted. "Follow me," Yemo said, and turned into the Immortal Rest Tower. Zhu Wuheng clearly knew that Yemo was going to give the opportunity to him, and thus followed Yemo without hesitation. "You're saying you can reach Dao actualization whenever you want?" Yemo set up restrictions and asked. Zhu Wuheng said affirmatively. "Yes, but in order to reach the grand state of primordial essence, I'd kept perfecting my Dao instead of breaking through to Dao actualization. When my Dao Mark God art is perfect, I wouldn't need to do anything and I would reach Dao actualization Divine Emperor." If other people heard this, they would think Zhu Wuheng is bluffing, but Yemo didn't think that way. "What gives you such confidence?" Yemo's tone went cold. Even he didn't dare to say that. "Because my father is a primordial essence Divine Emperor, and the cultivation method he left behind is the top primordial essence Divine Dao cultivation method. Not only that, I'm a natural Dao body. I know extremely clear if I can and how I can reach my next cultivation level." Zhu Wuheng looked at Yemo calmly. "If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters." Chapter 2174 Cell Spots. Chapter 2174 Cell Spots. Zhu Wuheng's words shocked Yemo. Yemo was surprised but not shocked at the primordial essence Divine Dao cultivation method. However, he was shocked at the Dao body. Such body was born for cultivation. In the process of cultivation, they knew very clear what their weaknesses were and could accurately predict if they could break through to the next level, when to break through, what was needed. They were also many times greater at learning Dao. They could easily learn any god art or magic. It's not that their cultivation speed was fast, but with that precise control, their cultivation foundation was more solid than anyone. Of course, this was if they had the necessary cultivation resources. Yemo also knew that the greatest secret of the Dao body was that it could be possessed. Yet Zhu Wuheng dared to tell him this the first time they met. How much confidence and balls did he have? "You're quite bold to tell me about the Dao body," Yemo said. Zhu Wuheng bowed. If it wasn't for Qianbei's charisma, Wanbei wouldn't dare to say it too. Qianbei can represent the human race to go to the Dao Fruit Tower distribution and give 30 spots back to the human race. One could see that Qianbei is an honest and righteous person. Plus, Qianbei's talent is probably more absurd than mine. Qianbei don't seem to be older than Wanbei, but your cultivation level is far superior. Yemo knew that his age probably was less than 1% that of Zhu Wuheng's. And Wanbei knows that if I don't enter the Dao Fruit Tower, there's no hope of me reaching the Dao Essence Divine Emperor I want to reach. Most importantly, Wanbei has no time to wait. Zhu Wuheng's tone was very genuine. Your father is a primordial essence divine emperor. I believe he's famous. What's he called? Yemo already decided to give a spot to Zhu Wuheng. It would be too unfair to not give such a talented divine emperor a spot. My father is called Zhuya. Zhu Wuheng answered calmly. Zhuya? Yemo repeated. He had never heard of this name before. Qianbei hasn't heard of my father? Zhu Wuheng looked at Yemo with more shock. He thought that someone as strong as Yemo would have definitely heard of his father. Yemo smiled. Perhaps I forgot, but I don't have a deep impression. Do you want to reach Dao Essence Divine Emperor quickly due to your father? Zhu Wuheng nodded. Yes, I don't want to ruin my foundation, but I also want to speed up to save my father. What happened to your father? Yemo asked. Zhu Wuheng hesitated for a while and said, My father is sealed. No one else can save him other than me. Yemo didn't keep asking. Yemo said, Zhu Wuheng, I can give you a spot, but you need to help me do something. That is, if you save your father, then you must go back to the divine Dao realm and protect his for 300 years. Yemo felt uneasy ever since the distribution gathering. He didn't know exactly what it was. Zhu Wuheng fell silent for a while and said, Pill Divine Yi, if I save my father, I can assure that my father and I will stay at the divine Dao realm for 100 years and help it. I can't promise beyond that time. I know what Pill Divine Yi is worried about, but my father isn't a human race divine emperor from the divine Dao realm. He even has conflicts with the primordial essence divine emperor from the divine Dao realm. If it wasn't that the divine Dao realm is broken, I can't even promise 100 years. Okay. Yemo agreed without hesitation. Zhu Wuheng was someone like him. If they promised, they would never regret. After Zhu Wuheng left, Yemo set up his room restrictions and then took out the storage ring Xinghong gave him. He wanted to see what god pills Xinghong wanted him to concoct. Cosmic Lotus? Yemo immediately grabbed out a lotus from the storage ring. It had 9 petals. At the same time, Yemo realized that it was Void Marketplace Merchant Tower at the auction who used to Yuan Ai to buy the Cosmic Lotus. Yemo applauded Xinghong's temperament. Xinghong gave him this clearly to ask him to concoct Cosmic Dao Pill. Thinking about how 50% was his, Yemo was very excited. He also felt happy with Xinghong's trust. Other than the Cosmic Lotus, the other materials were nothing compared to it. In the Void Marketplace, the most luxurious and big exchange palace was the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower's exchange palace. Today, Yemo came here with Xinghong and Xiaohe. This time, the palace is open for exchanges, but unlike before, this was only for Yemo. Xinghong was from the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower, however, he didn't represent them. Instead, he stood next to Yemo. Everyone here knew that Yemo was going to sell 14 spots into the Dao Fruit Tower. Although there was just 14 and Xinghong didn't advertise, quite a lot of people got the news. This time, 60 people came. Each one represented a powerful sect or a powerful faction. When everyone sat down, Xinghong signaled Yemo to get up and speak. Yemo got up and saluted with his fists. Thank you, immortal friends, for coming here to deal with me. I've already given out one of the 14 spots, so I only have 13 spots left on me. There's no limitations. As long as you can take out something that I like, be it God crystals, God's spirit herb, or God's spirit items. Everyone knows I'm a pill divine, so don't take out God pills. God crystals and God's spirit ranges were necessities, but at the divine emperor level, they were the least valuable to them. The most valuable were God pill and Dao fruits. Okay, Pill Divine Yi is straightforward. I like it. I'll use 1 billion God crystals to buy a Dao Fruit Tower spot. A coarse-looking Dao Essence Divine Emperor got up and said. Emo sneered. In terms of business, he wasn't as good as Su Jingwen and Su Yuehua, but he was no weaker than the Divine Emperors here. If it was an ordinary Dao fruit, 1 billion God crystals was worth it. But if you were lucky, you could get maybe even 10 Dao fruits with a Dao Fruit Tower spot. Emo had already asked? Each level of the tower only has one Dao fruit tree, but this tree is enormous. It's almost like a realm. If 2 divine emperors picked Dao fruits on the 2 sides of the tree, their spirit sense wouldn't even be able to see each other. Of course, how many Dao fruit you could pick depended on your cultivation level. Under any Dao fruit tree, the pressure doubles each time you pick a Dao fruit. That's why there are many divine emperors who die in the Dao fruit too. The danger didn't just come from the hunt of other divine emperors. Emo also knew from Xinghong that the Dao Fruit Tower has this great Dao wave. It's very helpful for Dao actualization divine emperors breaking through. Many Dao actualization divine emperor peak stages who leave the tower break through to Dao essence divine emperor immediately. Everyone looked at Emo hoping he would agree. If he did, there would be a reference price point. Emo smiled. This is how I feel about selling the spots. In order to speed things up and keep things secret, I'll use jade cards for bids. I have tens of jade cards here. I'll give everyone one and you write down the number of spots and your price on it. After comparison each round, I will choose a jade card to complete the deal. Hearing this, everyone was dumbfounded. This was a cruel move. This was making everyone compete against each other and unable to see each other's price. Only Emo would know the bids, so in order to win, people would have to make their greatest offer. Seeing this, Xinghong breathed easy. He was scared that Emo would accept the 1 billion God crystals offer. With this, everyone gave up trying to get a small advantage. They could only mark down their greatest offer on the jade card. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2175 Escaped Poverty. Chapter 2175 Escaped Poverty. The first round of bids soon came in. Most bids just wanted one spot and the value was about 1 billion God crystals and some other things. Emo didn't want these things at all, so he wouldn't agree. Emo saw that one jade card wanted 5 spots and the bid was 1 extreme grade God spirit range and 1 top grade God spirit range as well as 10 billion God crystals. Emo immediately knew this price was fine. Emo returned all the jade cards back and said the first round has concluded. Immortal Friends 37 has bought 5 spots. As soon as Emo said this, Emo sent 5 spot jade cards to a short-haired man. These are jade cards made by me. When the Dao Fruit Tower opens, anyone can take these and go to the human race. The short-haired man quickly gave Emo a storage ring and left the palace rapidly. Emo said that anyone could use the jade cards, meaning that he only recognized jade cards, not the people who bought it. With 5 spots gone in the first round, no one dared to bid 1 billion God crystals at the second round. They bid much higher prices. The second round, Emo sold 2 spots. The less spots there were, the higher the bid Emo got. When all 13 spots were gone, Emo got 30 billion God crystals. 2 extreme grade God spirit range in total and 3 more top grade God spirit range as well as some God spirit herb and high-level forgery materials. Finally, Emo felt he was a little wealthier. At least, he wouldn't be so shocked to see just 10 billion God crystals. Emo was planning to sell some of his pills after selling these spots, but since the spots alone earned him so much, he gave up on the idea. He could sell these things anywhere. Congratulations, Pill Divine Yi. Xinghong walked up to Emo and said. He didn't know how much Emo earned, but he knew it wasn't little. I'm finally not poor anymore. Emo felt great. Xinghong didn't ask about Emo's pill concoction and just said, I'm going back to the merchant tower. If you need me, Pill Divine Yi, just call the attendants at the Immortal Rest Tower. Yemo gave the storage ring Xing Hong gave him before back to him. The pills are made, see if they're okay, brother Xing? Xing Hong had long wanted to ask Yemo about the pills, but he was too embarrassed to. Now that Yemo said they were ready, he almost called out. He grabbed the storage ring and took out a few jade bottles from inside. 6 God Cloud Pill, Extreme Grade. 6 North Soul Pills, Extreme Grade. When Xing Hong saw it was all extreme grade pills, his hands were shaky. He had never seen God pills of this quality. This wasn't ordinary God pill, these were God pill for Tao Essence Divine Emperor. 6 Extreme Grade Cosmic Doa Pill. When Xing Hong saw these, he finally couldn't hold in his excitement. PM Divine Yi, you really successfully made the Cosmic Tao Pill? They're extreme grade too, how did you do it? Yemo looked at Xing Hong and asked, Brother Xing, did you not give me the Cosmic Lotus for me to concoct the Cosmic Tao Pill? Of course, but I wasn't very confident, and there were no better pill divines than you in the Void Marketplace. I promised to the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower that you could definitely do it, and they barely let me have the Cosmic Lotus. Haha, I didn't expect you really succeeded, and they're extreme grade too. I want to see who dares to say anything now. Xing Hong laughed. Yemo coughed. Brother Xing, you've come and gone in a hurry recently. Is it due to the Cosmic Lotus? Xing Hong said awkwardly. That's right, I had to go explain it carefully each time I went back. Now, I finally don't need to. I'm going back to slap their faces, ha ha ha. At the same time, Xing Hong realized that Yemo definitely concocted more than 6 pills. Otherwise, if he only concocted 6 pills, there was no way they would all be extreme grade. Yemo quite possibly concocted 12 Cosmic Tao pills. Thinking about this, Xing Hong dazed. What pill concoction skill level was this? This was definitely not Tao Actualization Pill Divine, but definitely Tao Essence Pill Divine. Yemo was a peak Tao Essence Pill Divine. Pill Divine Yi, your Tao Essence Pill Divine. Thinking about this, Xing Hong asked in extreme shock. Yemo knew that his true pill concoction skills would be exposed when he gave the pills to Xing Hong, but he didn't care. Even if a halfway primordial essence tried to kill him, he could easily get away. Plus, a powerful primordial essence pill divine was someone that halfway primordial essence wanted to suck up to. Who would be dumb enough to kill him? That's right. I'm a primordial essence pill divine, a decent one. Yemo said. Xing Hong took in a cold breath, and before he could say anything, Qiao, he said in surprise and joy. Pill Divine Yi, you're actually a Tao Essence Pill Divine. The better Yemo was at pill concoction, the better it was for him. Qiao, he had been following him for this long, but Yemo still couldn't go with him to Guanyuan Palace yet. Yemo could only say apologetically, Immortal friends Qiao, I'm indeed a Tao Essence Pill Divine, but I'm still quite busy, so I can't go with you yet. That's fine, that's fine. Qiao, he was desperate, but he said without hesitation. Don't worry, Pill Divine Yi, I have time to wait. Qiao, he was very desperate, but he didn't dare to leave the Void Marketplace and ask the Palace Lord to come. He was scared that as soon as he left, Yemo would leave for another few hundred years. Yemo could see Qiao He's desperation and could tell that he was genuinely inviting him to Guanyuan Palace. But no matter how much he pitied that young mistress, he wasn't going to the Guanyuan Palace before he reached Tao Essence Divine Emperor. Saving people was important, but so was his life. He didn't dare to be Carol's Fasinga. Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. Chapter 2176 Abyssal Races Ambush. Chapter 2176 Abyssal Races Ambush. Abyssal Race was one of the few powerful races. The hotel they stayed at was the most luxurious in the Void Marketplace. Yemo and Qiao He just came to the door of their hotel, and Zhongli Huing came out to greet Yemo. Immortal friends, Zhongli seems very busy. I don't know if I've disturbed you, Yemo said while saluting with his fists. Yemo was quite annoyed at this guy. He let this guy live. This guy should have come to visit him, but he had to come over instead. Zhong Lihui knew that Yemo was scorning him for not going over, but he wasn't angry at all. He forced a sliver of smile and said, I was planning to vice Pill Divine Yi, but suddenly a few friends came, so it took a few days. I hope Pill Divine Yi won't mind. Pill Divine Yi and immortal friends Qiao, please come with me. Since Pill Divine Yi is here, then please drink a cup of tea. An ethereal voice sounded. Yemo immediately knew who this voice belonged to. It was that abyssal race Tao Essence Divine Emperor he took notice of. He was the leader for the abyssal race this time. When Yemo walked in the place, he noticed that there really was another guest. She was a woman. The first time Yemo saw this woman, he just felt she looked clean, but after Yemo's eyes stayed on her for a few seconds, he found that she emitted this seduction all over her body. Such familiar feeling. Yemo immediately thought of someone. When he first came to the immortal realm, he met a woman called Jiang Jing. She's a member of the MOU Immortal sect now. Yemo saw certain that they were both natural seductive body. However, her cultivation level was countless times higher than Jiang Jing. Her cultivation method was suited to her body. I've long heard of your name. It's an honor to see you here today, Pill Divine Yi. This woman smiled at Yemo. As for Qiao He, she just completely ignored him. Qiao He sat next to Yemo and didn't care if he was ignored. That bleak Qi Dao Essence Divine Emperor introduced. Pill Divine Yi, this is a Phoenix Dao Essence Master Tang Qi. She wanted to come here and see you after hearing you were coming. I'm Chao Zhe. I'm also very grateful that Pill Divine Yi could show mercy. If there wasn't too many things to do, I would have long visited Pill Divine Yi. Just when Yemo was thinking if this Tang Qi was related to Tang Xiaoyu, Tang Qi said, Immortal friends Chao, don't mind me, I'll just drink some tea here. The two seemed to be close, and Chao Zhe just nodded to Tang Qi before turning to Yemo and saluted with his fists. Pill Divine Yi probably wants to ask about the Abyssal Realm, right? Yemo didn't have a good impression of this Chao Zhe and didn't want to waste time. Yes, I want to ask immortal friends Chao if it's very hard for me to go to the Abyssal Realm? Chao Zhe clearly heard about this from Zhong Lihui and said, That's right, out of all the races and realms, the Abyssal Realm is the hardest to enter. Not only do you need an abyssal body to enter the Abyssal Realm, but also if you're not an abyssal race and you forcefully enter, your cultivation level will be suppressed to the lowest. Of course, if Pill Divine Yi wants to enter our Abyssal Realm, we're more than happy. Then, Chao Zhe even took out a dark jade tablet and dark jade slip to Yemo. Pill Divine Yi just need to wear this jade card to enter the Abyssal Realm. This jade slip is a map of the Abyssal Realm including all the entrances. It's yours, Pill Divine Yi. He knew that if Yemo was set on entering this place, even if he described it as hell, it wouldn't stop Yemo. Yemo didn't expect Chao Zhe would be this easy to talk to. Yemo didn't know why this was so, but he didn't want to connect with Chao Zhe. Yemo got up to leave. He let Zhong Lihui live. This wasn't something that 5 spots could make up for. Even if Zhong Lihui didn't give the 5 spots, he could kill Zhong Lihui and keep challenging the abyssal race. Thus, Yemo didn't feel he owed Chao Zhe anything for the map and jade slip. Pill Divine Yi, I feel there's something wrong with that Chao Zhe. You can't trust his jade slip. After walking out, Qiao He said worriedly. Yemo smiled. I know this, don't worry. No need to follow me for now. I'm going to the Immortal Rest Tower for solitary cultivation for a while. When the Dao Fruit Tower opens, just wait for me there. Knowing this, Qiao He didn't insist on following Yemo. After returning to his room, Yemo set up layers of restriction before entering the Golden Page world. Inside, Yemo immediately took out that dark jade card. Yemo's spirit sense scanned in. His spirit sense has reached 5th transformation peak. His spirit sense broke restriction after restriction inside the jade card. In just 15 minutes, Yemo's spirit sense left this jade card. He didn't break it. He knew that there was something done to this jade card. As soon as he used it to enter the Abyssal Realm, he would be tracked. Chao Zhe was already scheming against him. This jade card was made for him. Yemo sneered. Chao Zhe and that Zhong Li Huiyin already wanted to kill him. These days, you really couldn't be too kind. He sealed the jade card and then picked up the map jade slip. It didn't seem newly made, but Yemo easily found another spirit sense mark. Yemo took out a new jade slip and copied the map onto it before sealing this jade slip too in the golden page world. Yemo was never going to go easy on those who wanted to kill him. Yemo left the golden page world. A few days later, Xinghong came over to give Yemo a storage ring. It was filled with all sorts of materials and God's spirit herbs. They weren't very expensive, but they were ample in amount. From Xinghong, Yemo heard about the Kamsik Dao pill. It's been brought to a heaven price in the Void Marketplace. They were extreme grade Dao fruit god pills. The first one was sold for nearly double the price of the Cosmic Lotus. This is where the value of a pill divine showed. 12 pills came out of one cauldron. The value of the materials flipped more than tens of times. But not all pill divines had this success rate and quality. There was still 2 months before the Dao Fruit Tower opened, so Yemo stayed at his place concocting pills and forging materials. 2 months passed quickly. Yemo was planning to leave and ask Luo Qinghe about the selection. He also wanted to ask Luo Qinghe if he had been to Luo Yu continent. Before Yemo left his immortal rest tower, Gu Bing rushed to Yemo's place. Seeing her worried and anxious look, Yemo knew something probably happened. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2177 Blood Spilling on the God Rank Square. Chapter 2177 Blood Spilling on the God Rank Square. What happened? Yemo asked. He was thinking if something happened with Luo Qinghe's selection. Did someone not agree to his selection? Brother Yi, our people are fighting with the Aquarius race at the God Rank Square. We've lost more than 10 divine emperors, and even Marshal Brother Qinghe is heavily injured, if it wasn't. Before she finished, Yemo already disappeared from the room. Gu Bing knew Yemo went over and quickly followed. When Yemo saw the scene at the God Rank Square, he was furious. More than 1,000 people were fighting at the square, but it was pretty much all human divine emperors who died. There was 60 people who died now. It was all Aquarius race who fought the human race. They had the definite upper hand. The battle was extremely intense. The reason the Aquarius race could win was because they had 6 Dao Essence divine emperors. Human race only had 2 Dao Essence divine emperor. 2 of the 6 Aquarius Dao Essences were stopped by 2 human Dao Essence. 1 more was stopped by a red-robed human female. She was only Dao Actualization peak stage. Other than this, the other 3 Aquarius Dao Essences were slaughtering human divine emperors below Dao Actualization. There were tens of thousands of people watching the battle, and they were all watching, but no one intervened. Yemo didn't call them to stop. He charged onto the battlefield with Zisu. Amidst all the battle rays, one purple color instantly swept across the entire battlefield. Whether it was Aquarius Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor or Dao Actualization Divine Emperor, no one could live for a second under Yemo's purple ray. The 3 Dao Essences saw Yemo slay Aquarius Divine Emperors like chickens and immediately charged at Yemo crazily. Yemo was completely furious now. His powerful realm domain and spirit sense domain extended out and instantly swept in these 3 Dao Essences. The next moment, Crevice God Art and Falling Mark Sword runes sprayed out non-stop, forming purple ripples in his domain. Almost all the Aquarius Divine Emperors who were sliced were killed. The 2 Dao Essences just released a magic artifact to stop Yemo's Crevice God Art, and they felt 2 twisted runes appear in their sea of consciousness. Yemo used Spirit Sense Great Primordial God Rune to attack their sea of before they could call out the words Great Primordial God Rune. Falling Mark Sword rune swept over and the 2 Dao Essences instantly died. The 3rd Dao Essence worriedly stopped, but Yemo didn't give him any chance. Yemo threw out an Ice Space God Art and another Falling Mark Sword rune. It had only been a few seconds since coming to the square, but Yemo killed more than 10 first-step Divine Emperors and 3 Tao Essence Divine Emperors. At this moment, the two sides finally saw Yemo come. The suppressed human side immediately became excited. The remaining 3 Aquarius Tao Essence Divine Emperors were very worried. The Tao Essence fighting the red-robed woman quickly said, "Pill Divine, you stop, there's a misunderstanding." The red-robed woman, who was almost about to be killed, quickly ate a god pill to recover and looked at Yemo in shock. She just came to God rank square. She really didn't understand how this pill Divine Yi was this powerful. Misunderstanding? Yemo didn't seem to hear it. Zisu didn't stop, but more and more purple sword ripples appeared in the square. Aquarius Divine Emperors were slaughtered non-stop. Instantly, 10 more Divine Emperors died. Not only so, he extended out his powerful realm domain and threw out countless lightning swords. Ever since he reached Divine Emperor, Yemo rarely used this massive area attack lightning swords, but today he was completely furious. Aquarius Tao Essence Divine Emperors slaughtered human Divine Emperors relentlessly. If he didn't do the same back, he wouldn't be Yemo. Yemo was Tao Actualization Peak Stage, and his God Essence and Spirit Sense were more powerful than Tao Essence Divine Emperor. When these lightning swords fell, the number of Aquarius race Divine Emperors dying multiplied. Those Aquarius Tao Molding Divine Emperor couldn't even take one. Even Tao Nourishment and Tao Actualization Divine Emperor died with just a few hits. Those people watching just realized that Pill Divine Yi was also a lightning element Divine Emperor. Misunderstanding? He didn't believe that bullshit. If it was a misunderstanding, why didn't the Aquarius Tao Essence Divine Emperors stop earlier? They were clearly killing human Divine Emperors non-stop. Seeing Yemo didn't intend to stop at all, this Tao Essence smashed out a vibrant color and signaled the 2 other Tao Essences to attack Yemo. When their opponents left, the 2 human Tao Essences immediately joined the slaughter of Aquarius Divine Emperors. There was no way things would resolve now. Everyone's eyes were red from slaughter. Seeing the Tao Essence shoot out the vibrant color, Yemo knew it was asking for help, but he didn't stop it. Before this Tao Essence seeking help came up to Yemo, Yemo went up to him. He collected his Falling Mark Sword Rune and Realm Domain to only suppress him. This Tao Essence Divine Emperor was clearly no less angry than Yemo. The same time Yemo charged at him, water chi emitted around him and spread out, forming a water chi realm domain. The 2 realm domains clashed together, and the 2 nearby Tao Nourishment Divine Emperors were smashed away. Powerful water chi domain actually stopped the Twisted Sword Rune. Although this was because the Falling Mark Sword Rune had already weakened, Yemo was still a bit shocked. However, Yemo's killing intent was intense. When the Falling Mark Sword Rune fell, he smashed out 5 lightning spear destruction. 1 spear towards the Tao Essence he was fighting and 4 to the other 2 Tao Essences. There was a shocking God Essence explosion that spread across the God rank square. The Tao Essence fighting Yemo stopped a lightning spear and released his heaven-smashing hammer at Yemo. Yemo went in instead. This time, he didn't use any magic artifact and just punched. The Aquarius Tao Essence rejoiced seeing that Yemo was using his fists to clash with his magic artifact. The hammer sped up and instantly clashed with Yemo's fist. The fist became huge with the surrounding of God Essence. The clash created space ripples. Another explosion sounded, but the hammer was actually stopped by Yemo's fists. Yemo's fist force was unstoppable. This Aquarius Tao Essence's face went into extreme shock. He didn't expect Yemo's punch would smash away his God artifact. At the same time, a water domain rose up again before Yemo's fist. This was his final defense God art. Ordinary God artifacts wouldn't be able to break it open quickly. This was his life-saving God art. Rumble. Yemo's fist force smashed onto the water domain, and the water domain instantly exploded. Each drop of water splashed out like a boundless huge mountain. Before the Tao Essence could understand how Yemo broke his God art, the void fist force struck on his body, smashing half of his body away. Divine Body! The Tao Essence called out in extreme shock. He retreated like crazy. Although the water domain god art was broken, but he still survived. He finally realized why Yimo's fist was this powerful. This Pill Divine Yi was a body refinement cultivator of the extreme peak. He reached the legendary divine body level. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2178 Void Marketplace Intervention. Chapter 2178 Void Marketplace Intervention. Yimo's punch didn't take this Tao Essence's life, but Yimo didn't chase. Zisu smashed out again, and 2 falling mark sword runes rolled back. The 2 Aquarius Tao Essences just broke free from Yimo's 4 lightning spear and had to face Yimo's falling mark sword rune again. Luckily, even though Yimo was only strong, he could only heavily bind 1 Tao Essence. Blood light flashed again and Essence Spirit crumbled. This bound Tao Essence Divine Emperor instantly died. The other Tao Essence Divine Emperor barely stopped Yimo's falling mark sword rune and protected his sea of consciousness. He retreated rapidly but didn't dare to come up. Yimo didn't chase as well. Zisu flashed with purple rays again. In a short while, a few more Divine Emperors below Tao Actualization were killed. The battle on the God Rank Square had become one-sided. Pill Divine Yi, please stop. A powerful spirit sense scanned over. Feeling this, Yimo knew it was half Primordial Essence Kong Han Divine Emperor. He was half Primordial Essence, and rather polite. Yimo had killed more than 100 Aquarius Divine Emperors now, and got some revenge, so he gave face to Kong Han Divine Emperor and stopped the slaughter. Although he stopped attacking, Yimo didn't take a break. He started collecting all the storage rings of the dead Divine Emperors. Seeing Yimo stop, the human Divine Emperors stopped too and held those Divine Emperors with Essence Spirit left repair their body. Kong Han finally breathed easy seeing Yimo stop the slaughter. Before he could speak, 5 more Aquarius Tao Essences with more Divine Emperors. When they saw the terrifying scene at the square, their eyes were bursting out. Those Tao Essence Divine Emperors didn't even think. Killing intent bursted all over their body. Even those outside the square could feel it. They released magic artifact and charged at Yimo. They were going to get revenge. As for the dead human Divine Emperors, how could they even compare with the Aquarius race? Stop! I'm already investigating the cause. Kong Han Divine Emperor said with annoyance when he saw the Aquarius Divine Emperors were still going to attack when he said stop. The Tao Essence Divine Emperor who lost half his body still had some reason and he was recovering his body. He quickly went up to the Tao Essence Divine Emperors and said, "Don't fight now." He knew Yimo's terror very clearly. He had a primordial spirit artifact that could kill Divine Emperors like chickens and he was a divine body refinement cultivator. Even if all these 5 Tao Essence Divine Emperors charged up together, they had very low chances of winning. Plus, the human race had 2 Tao Essence Divine Emperors and a red-robed woman on par with Tao Essence. Hearing this, the 5 Aquarius race Divine Emperors calmed down a bit. They ordered the Aquarius race to collect the Divine Emperors who were killed on the square, but Yimo already took their storage rings. The people watching knew that the conflict had stopped for now, but this human race Pill Divine Yi was too terrifying. He killed more than 100 Divine Emperors in less than 15 minutes. It was because of him that the human disadvantage turned to a dominating sweep. A Void Marketplace Tao Essence Divine Emperor had investigated things clear already and quickly came up. Kong Han Divine Emperor Master. During the battle just then, human race lost 65 Divine Emperors and the Aquarius race lost 143 Divine Emperors, 4 of them are Tao Essence Divine Emperors. Kong Han heard this and frowned. He glanced at the scene and said, "Although Void Marketplace don't forbid fighting, but such large-scale fights are definitely forbidden. Tian Rui Divine Emperor and I will be waiting at the Void Marketplace Guest Palace. I hope the human and Aquarius race representatives can sit with us and sort this thing out. Since this happened, it must be dealt with fairly and swiftly." Kong Han Divine Emperor's tone went cold, and he even glanced at Yemo with cold eyes. When he came, he saw how terrifyingly Yemo slaughtered. Yemo didn't care at all. He could tell that Kong Han's tone and expression seemed very furious, but he was actually very calm. He just wanted to go through the process for the sake of it. Luo Qinghe with heavy injuries and Wang Nanchuang came over. There was that red-robed Dao actualization woman behind them. Yemo had a deep impression of her, as she stopped an Aquarius race Dao Essence Divine Emperor all alone. Yemo fought that Aquarius race Dao Essence Divine Emperor. He definitely wasn't simple. He wanted to kill him by attacking with full power, but he only destroyed half his body. Such injuries to Dao Essence Divine Emperors were nothing. Seeing Wang Nanchuang with red eyes, Yemo immediately knew that someone from the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect was probably killed. Qinghe, what happened? Control your injuries and tell me. Yemo took out a pill and gave it to Luo Qinghe. Yemo also took out a few bottles of pills to Wang Nanchuang and said, Martial Sister Nanchuang, go help the injured people first. Pill Divine Yi, this started because of me. The red-robed woman bowed to Yemo and said nervously. She had been very prideful. She didn't even take the halfway primordial essences of other races seriously, much less ordinary human divine emperors. She didn't know Yemo's identity very well yet, but from how Yemo came so dominantly and instantly turned the tides for the human race, she respected Yemo a lot. After Luo Qinghe used Yemo's pills, his injuries recovered rapidly. He quickly said, Martial Sister Qin Xuanji is the other human divine emperor on the god rank. She's much higher than me, she's ranked 46th. God rank 46th? Yemo studied Qin Xuanji in surprise. She didn't look old and was Dao Actualization peak stage. Even though Dao Actualization was the peak of the first step of Dao Vindication, it was still the first step. Dao Essence Divine Emperor was the second step. The difference was heavens apart. Even if she was ranked 46th, it was hard to stop that Dao Essence Divine Emperor for a while. Not everyone had his cultivation method and fortunes. Qin Xuanji knew Yemo's confusion and said, I've been adventuring in the cosmos and had some fortune. My cultivation level is higher than before, so I'm guessing now that I can be ranked in God rank top 10. Hearing this, Yemo nodded. God rank top 10. They can't defeat Dao Essence Divine Emperor, but they would be able to stop the Aquarius race Dao Essence Divine Emperor for a while. Top 10? Luo Qinghe took in a cold breath. He knew better than Yemo what top 10 God rank meant. Every one of them were a shocking existence. Let's not talk about this yet, tell me what happened. Yemo was going to reason at the Void Marketplace Guest Palace. He needed to know the exact situation. He knew that the human race Divine Emperor wouldn't be stupid enough to offend the Aquarius race, but he still didn't know how they started fighting. Qin Xuanji immediately said, Martial Brother Yi, after I came to the Void Marketplace a year ago to find out about the Dao Fruit Tower news, I left. I didn't know about Martial Brother Yi representing human race and Dao Fruit Tower spot distribution. As soon as I came back, I was challenged by an Aquarius race Divine Emperor on the God rank. He was higher ranked than me, but I was stronger than him. He wanted to kill me non-stop, so I didn't hold back and killed him. Luo Qinghe said. Aquarius race Dao Actualization Divine Emperor challenged Martial Sisters Xuanji probably because they were unhappy with the human race. I think it might be related to the demon race. Yemo felt this conflict was very strange. Even if there was a conflict, it should be between the human and demon race. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.